Captain Comic.
In Berkeley, California. You got it. This one's for three. AJ Hawk, $5,000. USA, USA, USA.
That is Parris Island Marine Corps Band. And what you just heard is the iconic, incomparable, the Marines hymn. Every Marine knows when they hear that song, they stand at attention until that song is over and they sing with everything they have. By the way, my name is Sergeant Major Carlos Ruiz, Sergeant Major of the United States Marine Corps. And we are here at Parris Island, South Carolina, where we make United States Marines. Right over my right shoulder is one of the most iconic images in our nation's history. Marines raising the flag in Iwo Jima on Mount Suribachi. What that told our nation is that there are people today, as they were yesterday, willing to fight for every piece of freedom that we have today. And thank you to them for their sacrifice and their relentless pursuit of never stopping moving forward. It is a reminder that freedom isn't easy, that it isn't free, and it is gifted to all of us by those who are willing to pay the ultimate sacrifice. So, for the first time ever, here at Parris Island, South Carolina, welcome to the Pat McAfee Show, and oorah, veterans.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You ping.
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to Parris Island, South Carolina, where they make Marines on this Veterans Day, November 11th, 2025. This program starts now. Hoorah! Is what we're saying on these particular grounds, on these hallowed grounds where Marines have been made since the beginning of America kicking people's ass. Now, obviously, it's Veterans Day across this beautiful country, and we just wanted to say thank you to all those who signed the line and said, hey, we don't want there to be a fight. We don't want there to be war. But if there is going to be, which is the reality of the current world that we live in, we will definitely be the ones that'll go and kick some ass for this country that we call home. We say thank you to all of our vets, serving, and those that have passed away. And we are so incredibly honored and thankful to be live from where they make Marines. At the beginning there, you saw a man chatting from this particular stage who is the highest ranking enlisted Marine in the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us, Sergeant Major Carlos Ruiz.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was I think you are muted. I think we need to turn his microphone on. We can't do that here. That is something we cannot be doing on these particular grounds. Super Bowl champion, college football national champion, Ryder Cup winner, A.J. Hawk is here, ladies and gentlemen. Darius J. Butler is here, 9-year NFL vet. Your dad, I believe, in the Army,
yes,
a Army brat, if you will, born in Germany. Veterans Day is always such a beautiful day to say thanks and shout out to all those, not only in the military and serve, but also families alongside of them all, and an appreciation.
Absolutely. Huge appreciation to everyone that signs that dotted line. Like you mentioned, my pops, he served in the Army. I was born in Frankfurt, Germany, on an Army base, and my youngest brother is now serving in the Air Force. So obviously this day is near and dear to my heart. And this is awesome, man. We had a chance to experience something special this morning that I'm sure you'll get into and talk about, but this is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, we're just kind of dropped into Parris Island here.
Yeah.
Okay, we didn't want to disrupt anything because what's happening here is very important to America. Now, our show very stupid, us very dumb, sports people. That is kind of how it goes. Toxic Table at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Con Man, kind of absurd that we're just dropped into their world. There's Marines and future Marines, recruits right now currently, that are going to be doing drill here on the parade deck behind us. On this parade deck behind us here is where the Eagle Globe and Anchor ceremony takes place after 13 weeks of boot camp here at Parris Island for the Marines, where they are officially made Marines. This statue right here, Iwo Jima, with the flag raising by the Marines, is where they gather around after earning their Eagle Globe and Anchor, and they talk about what they're chasing, which is the perfect Marines, who are these men that basically did this in Japan. It's like, and then we get a chance to kind of walk around and see everything. It's absurd that we're here, and obviously, I hope we do it some justice, Con Man.
Yeah,
honestly,
no doubt about it. I mean, it's almost like there's different waves of emotion as you see different things all over Parris Island. Like you go to that plaque on the Iwo Jima Memorial, and there's sand from the beach, and like even just being around something like that is special, but just being here these last 24 hours, whatever it is, it just reaffirms your faith in America. Like you really do just have like we are fine. You hear a lot of the noise from the outside world, especially dumb internet show, conspiracy theorists, you see a lot of dumb stuff. When you come to a place like Parris Island, it's like, thank God this place exists in America, because it just really it just brings everything together, and it's just an honor, man. It's the emotions are are flowing. It's incredible.
Yeah, we got dogs all over the place, and we got a chance to celebrate the 250th birthday last night of the Marine. So let's talk Sergeant Major. We have some brand new Marines that are joining us here, sitting in front of the stage, and you come up here, and obviously there is a massive like, oorah, oorah, oorah. Can we talk about the passion that Marines have for each other? Because it felt like last night, the 250th birthday. What I realized is you guys say happy birthday to each other. I think that happens everywhere when it's a Marine's birthday. Can you just tell me a little bit about the family that is the Marines and why you're so proud to be the leader of Marines?
Yeah, this is unbelievable. That's 3rd Battalion Kilo Company about to graduate this Friday. Hoorah. And that's right.
Hold on. Okay, so Sergeant Major, I don't want to cut you off, but it's going to probably happen. I apologize. It's kind of how I operate. I am not disciplined enough to be a Marine. But if I just say like, if I say hoorah, they'll say it back?
Yeah, say it.
So I just look at him and I go, 3rd Battalion, congratulations on, conquering this incredibly tough task of boot camp at Parris Island. Hoorah! Holy hell, that felt pretty good. Pretty cool. What if Ty does it count?
Ty, yeah, do it.
Hoorah!
That wasn't bad. Okay, so we'll be able to do that. That feels like a pretty cool thing. Now, I will say, sounded like whenever you did it to him, there's a much more attention to detail, as there should be. You're the highest ranking enlisted Marine. What does that mean, and why the Marines, do you think, is the perfect kind of military situation for the United States of America?
Yeah, I look across and I see those future Marines here. They're Marines now. They're about to graduate this Friday. But I came 32 years ago, just like they came 3 months ago. They're looking for something that's different, that's a different path than any other person in their life. They were looking for the Corps to change something about them. Their confidence, they're too skinny, they're too fat. By the way, we don't allow fat. But it is absolutely a tribal calling. You become a Marine. We don't just give it away because you show up here. You got to earn it. And they know because the individuality that they came here with was stripped away within days. And you saw this morning, 2 weeks from arriving here at the depot, the way that they were moving, as a team, no longer thinking like an individual. Now, they're supposed to be accountable for their own actions, absolutely. Know the task, know their jobs. But it is as a team that they win. That's how they become invincible. That's why they win, and that's why nobody will ever want to tangle with the United States Marines.
Hoorah! Yeah, that was awesome. What you just said, describing what you're creating here at Parris Island. Obviously, there's the yellow footprints. And you talked about stripping down the individuality. That starts immediately upon arrival. And I think that type of discipline and the way you guys go about your 13 weeks of making Marines here is something that even goes back old school. I think, like, to Connor's point about us feeling like, man, so much is moving, so much is changing. Is the world going to be able to be tough enough? Like, are we able to do that? It feels like this 13 weeks here at Parris Island has been pretty similar to how it's been for I don't want to say the entire time here, but basically it's been pretty similar. Have to be tough, have to get through here, have to create dogs, because the mantra is first the fight, right? Isn't that kind of the Marines' mantra, is first the fight? So you have to create certain types of people here, and there's only like maybe one way to go about doing that. Is that an accurate kind of description?
That's accurate. The moment they arrive, we start injecting into their soul the history of the Marine Corps. So it is their responsibility to carry that legacy forward. And so immediately this pressure comes over you that you must not be the generation that gets whooped, right? It is up to you to continue the legacy that those that came before us, these giants that came before us, that they will honor that legacy when they get on the future battlefield. This is an era of technology, right? And they knew exactly what they were stepping into. They YouTube everything, they read everything, they asked a bunch of questions to veterans or whoever came as a Marine from their family. Still, they came and they handed their soul over to a Marine Corps drill instructor, the most lethal, legendary, campaign-wearing, oh my goodness, and they say, yes, change me, and they deliver it.
Okay, so let's talk about those DIs that are changing these, maybe, lost souls or somebody searching for things into a not cold-blooded. Yeah. a dog. We'll just say an absolute dog, a war-fighting dog. First to fight mantra. Hey, we're going to be, if there's any fights happening, Marines are going to be a part of it. Like, that is just the difference between us and everybody else. We are trying to create war fighters here. Like, that is what we know. Tough people, everything like that. The DIs, the drill instructors. So drill sergeant, Army. Drill instructor, Marines. Now, drill instructor title that I know, first sergeant. So drill instructor, first sergeant, Army drill sergeant. So I think people kind of get it kind of conflicted. The drill instructors at the Marines, they wear these campaign covers, these flat bills, okay? And they have to project themselves as the most on-point Marine in the history of the Marines 24/7. Okay, and lights start at 0400. We were there this morning as it happened. And these drill instructors, there's a senior drill instructor, then there's an experienced drill instructor, then there's two younger drill instructors, and it is their job to transform these 79 people. Okay, there were 79 guys in there this morning. In this particular platoon, there is 6 platoons per company. There are 4 companies per battalion, and I think there's 4 squads per platoon, if I'm not 100% mistaken. Did I get that right?
You're good.
Hoorah! Yeah, okay, they're saying I got it right too. But from 0400 to 2000, these drill instructors are creating the Marine. They are the ones that are basically the Marines culture. There's 565 of them here on Parris Island at this exact moment. There's anywhere between 5,000 and 8,000 recruits on Parris Island at any given moment. Can you tell me about the drill instructors? Because let me tell you how I was introduced. I was asked to play a World War II drill instructor in a Marines movie called The Mosquito Bowl. And the more I learned about it from my high school friend, First Sergeant Gartland, who was a drill instructor for 8 years, and then coming down here, I realized that I was being placed into a position of impossible reflection. There was no way I could be an actual Marines drill instructor or the greatest generation's Marine drill instructor whenever they had just gotten out of World War I to serve for World War II as drill instructors, create future Marines. So the task was crazy, but these are superhumans, it feels like, these drill instructors. They have to appear that way, they have to act that way, they have to be that way all the time, all day, every day. Who are they, and how is a drill instructor different than maybe what other branches of the military have?
That's an awesome question, but the drill instructor can only do so much with the quality of Americans that come and raise their right hand. So that Marine Corps recruiter must look like, walk like, talk like a United States Marine as well, because they're out there representing the entire Marine Corps, alone and unafraid at local high schools, colleges, trying to tell you that this is a tribe that maybe you want to try to belong to. So when they do arrive here, those drill instructors have been trained for 12 weeks, right? And then there's DI school instructors, right? And then there's levels of experience here so we put our very best to develop the future drill instructor that will come across the street to this side of the house and get after developing young people, right? So it is what you saw, okay, the hours, but that's just when they're taking care of somebody's daughter and somebody's son, right? They understand what they have in their hands, right? So they must be thoroughly and professionally trained, but the day's not over. So when the lights go out, then they get to the business of preparing the next day. And then they're up, right?
Yeah, it's like 2 hours of sleep a night for 13 weeks, basically. That's what I heard. It's like 2 hours, 3 hours max sleep. And oh yeah, you're on at 0400, literally saying, stand, you know, hoorah! A lot of that, you know, there's a lot of that this morning, but it is an impressive thing. And once again, to echo everything Connor said to start, it's like we are so thankful this exists still in the United States of America, and we appreciate the hell out of you. Now, the boys have some questions, if that's okay. Sergeant Major, AJ, go ahead, boss.
Yeah, Sergeant Major, you said 32 years ago you came here. I guess 32, was this your plan to be in the position you are now? Like, did you think this was my life? Like, this is going to be my life from here on out?
No. This is much like I'm sure some of them are thinking now. I'm going to do 4 years. I'm going to get disciplined. I'm going to get a leg up on my competition. And I'm going to get some reps and sets. And then I'm going to exit the Marine Corps and I'm going to go chase the bigger dream, right? Whether it's to be a governor, a doctor, or whatever, this is a place to launch you that way. But as life has to say, right? Mm-hmm. You tend to find your place and you start realizing, you know, hopefully sooner rather than later that, oh, this is about people. And the way that you can, as a leader, say there's something different about you and I think you should do this. Imagine somebody how they looked at you maybe one day says there's something different about you, right? And someone actually looks at you, not through you. And that's what the Marine Corps leadership does, is they zero in on that human being and they can get them moving in the right direction. So, as my Commandant says, 32 years later, I'm still thinking about getting out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, we're appreciative of the fact that you're still in. And somebody did look at AJ's jaw and his structure. Yeah, and they were like, hey, that head could do some damage. We need him to play some football. D-Bud, who obviously grew up in the military life, has a question for you.
Yeah, speaking of football, and as a football player, we try to steal so much from, the military, the Marines, and the different armed forces. I want to know, what team are you a fan of? And I want to know how you became a fan of that football team. I'm assuming you're a football fan.
I am a big football fan, and just like all of Kilo Company, they're all Cowboys fans.
No, they are
All
not.
of them, every
one of them is a Cowboy fan.
Wow,
That's
what
not
are the
true.
I
odds?
verified this morning.
How'd you
did hear
verify? How'd you verify?
I made them all raise their hand.
Yeah, he goes, Kilo Company, raise your hand if you're a Dallas Cowboys fan. There's like 10 in there, I think. Then he goes, everybody in Kilo Company, raise your hand. It was awesome. You are a Cowboys fan, though.
I am. I've been suffering for 30 plus years, but still hanging in there.
How'd you become a Dallas Cowboys fan?
My father, I was born and raised in Mexico and came to the United States when I was 11, and we moved to Arizona. And in Arizona, it's Cowboy fans.
Really?
Back then.
Okay.
Half the stadium was Cowboy fans. I'm not sure what it is now. But it was, in my family, you are a Dodgers fan, and you're a Cowboys fan.
Well, congrats on the World Series.
Yeah.
Congrats on the World
One out of
Series.
two.
Yeah, that's not bad. They're going to be good for the long haul, it seems like, especially with the way you guys are kind of cheating with the salary thing. Isn't that what you guys are doing? You said no. What he wants to do, dude, we're going to defer money however you want to. Jerry Jones would be happy to hear, though, that the highest-ranking enlisted Marine is a Dallas Cowboys fan. How do you feel about Jerry? You think Jerry's doing a good job? What do you? Let's go ahead. You said you 32 years you've been suffering as a Cowboys fan, or however long you've been suffering as a Cowboys fan. What are your thoughts on the state of the team?
I think that maybe the military model, the Marine Corps model, could probably fit into a Cowboy executive model, meaning that every commander has a senior enlisted leader, a sergeant major. That command team makes the team, right? And you got that senior enlisted leader providing advice and saying, you may not want to do that, think about this, this, and that, right? And then together, that commander owns that decision, absolutely, but it is that team, that senior enlisted, that is telling the hard truth, right, about what we need to do to move forward. Maybe, I'm just saying that there needs to be a command senior enlisted leader, a sergeant major in the Cowboy organization.
You're saying somebody is going, Jay, we're not trading Micah Parsons. It sounds like that's what you're
get
saying.
him on the phone.
Yeah, it might be a good idea. Ty has a question for you, Sergeant Major.
Yeah, Sergeant Major, we talk a lot in sports about how, now, locker rooms are so much different. Guys have changed. And, the way they're brought up obviously is much different than it was several years ago. And that applies in business and all other different walks of life. Do you believe that this institution, where you're at right here, this is maybe one of, if not the only place where that stuff doesn't matter? People who come in here, there isn't this group of young kids, they don't get it like the previous group did. Do you think that this is the one place where people come in and you're producing the same Marines that you were 50 years ago, 100 years ago?
Yeah, but 100 times better and more deadlier, more lethal, right? Because the Marine Corps is about the human being, so we equip the Marine to get after the fight. AI model says there's a 4% chance that this mission is going to succeed. The Marine looks at 4% chance and said, that's really, really freaking good. So I am ready to go. So those are the kind of Marines that we need to make.
It's not zero? Got it.
4% is really high because they don't know how to fail, right? Because they have to work and depend on each other, right? And to leave it all out there is what it's about. So we are always evolving, we're always modernizing, but we're never letting go of how we got here, right? There's a million ways from nutrition to the way that we get after resilience, the way we get after grit, and all those things that you see here, that will continue. But there is a better way that we are modernizing to get them to a certain level, like a Division I athlete, right? When they enter that program, that's what we're trying to get after with these Marines.
It was 4:07 this morning, and they were in the middle of their third round of V-ups, I do believe. This is the last one.
then they would stop. Up! Everybody up. Then hit the deck. Chest through deck is one that they're 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Then I heard chest through deck from one of the guys. I'm like, yes, this is awesome. But that was 4:07 a.m. Sorry, 0407, I believe, is the exact time. This video is being taken at probably like 0404. I don't know how you use 0404, but it was 4:15 in the morning. Everybody in that place full sweat.
Crazy.
They had gone through, I have no idea how many jump-in jacks on the side, and I mean, it was, by 4:20, it was like, all right, what are we doing now? Well,
but what you saw, Pat, was incentive training on the side. That's what you said. So you move slow. You're moving where you're not supposed to be moving. You're touching your face. You're doing something that's undisciplined. Do it. Not just do it and learn it this way. They understand why we do what we do.
And they're going to find out if they don't.
They're going to find out.
Yes, they are.
found out today.
Yes, they're very quick, actually. Hey, good morning. Yep, line up. Yep, you, Fatso, right over here. That's not how it was. Yeah. It was unbelievable to watch.
They were speaking English, too, and I didn't understand. I probably understood maybe 10% of the words that were being said. It was like kind of like organized chaos, organized for you guys, of course, but definitely kind of chaotic, almost intentionally. You said everything has a reason, so all those things cross over to actual combat, I'm sure.
They do, and that what you saw is maybe the movement of the recruits, what they're having them do, but the drill instructor's eye is zeroing in on hydration. Did they sleep? How are they moving? The arms are going down. They're taking accountability to ensure that every recruit woke up that went to sleep that previous night. So for a parent that's out there, this is the kind of professional that is looking after
every morning. They counted out every human. I think it was between 56 and 57. There was some sort of disconnect, and they were standing right next to each other. And boy, DI was pissed. I mean, because you have your hand up and then you drop it whenever you count. I think it was 79 because I heard the last guy say 79. In war times, I think it was 8 weeks or 7 weeks. I forget exactly what it was during war times.
We have wartime programs of instruction, so we have to get the throughput, right, and inject the culture and the training, and then in stride, right, the lessons being learned in combat. So as they're making movement to the fight, it is the after actions that are being injected into those Marines. So they're learning to the newest TTPs, the procedures that are happening on the deck. So we do have moments where it's an emergency and we get up and go.
Yeah, it is a crazy thing. Last question here from Connor for you, Sergeant Major.
Yeah, Sergeant Major. I watched a couple, an episode and a half.
Slept in a barracks last night, by the way.
Yeah, awesome time in the Echo Company, the Evil Empire. It's great to be a part of it. But watching some of the Netflix documentary, one of the things that's very apparent is the fact that, sure, you sign the dotted line, but it is a calling. Like, it's not just something that you can really understand unless you're called to do it. And, seeing people like this who have just graduated and just watching the documentary, that's very apparent. And one of the things especially, and it was kind of the generational Marines, like the families that kind of pass it down to their sons, kind of to their, cousins, however you want to say it. In the town I grew up in, the Codys and the Gramlicks, oorah. I had to get one. Their fathers and sons and grandfathers, they all served. And then in the documentary, the Price family, I believe, or the Smith family. I don't want to get it wrong, but it's Copen, Roland, Smith, and then Price was kind of the son that they adopted, and they ended up, going to Parris Island, I believe, and eventually going over to Pendleton and Okinawa. But what do you think that says about the Marines as a whole when generations of family members are signing that dotted line, and there's not just the calling from one person, but that calling also kind of gets passed through? And then what do you just think of the documentary as a whole?
Yeah, we're working my way through the documentary as well. It is unapologetic of what Marines do and what they're after and what the mindset is each and every day. It is starting to become more and more a family thing to serve, right? But I would tell you that's not good enough, Pat. Like, that's not good enough for America. This is an all-in thing that we all must choose. I hope that we are finding a way to inject into our children and to the future of America that service is a thing. You don't have to join the Marine Corps, but maybe there is something else that you can do to learn about what it means to serve and give and not worry so much about what's in it for me, right? And in that, I think you can find yourself, right, and get after whatever it is, the dream that you wanna get after. So you can come to this tribe, and then you can exit this tribe and build a family, build a business, and then all of that ends when you're in your 50s and you're close to 60s, and then the tribe calls you back, right? And then you're wearing things like a red jacket and USMC hats like First on Garland, hoorah. Like you're doing all these things to return back to the tribe, and you're cutting cake, and 25 years, 30 years since you last wore a uniform, and yet you still return. So if this is the kind of life that you want to live, and this is the kind of service you want to have, and the impact into the human beings, that's how you get to live forever, right? That you don't just arrive on Earth and you go away. You make an impact on the next generation after next generation, and this is why this tribe is so tight.
Yeah, that was awesome. Everything you've said has been spectacular. We appreciate the hospitality. Last night, obviously, we got a chance to, not you, obviously, you have an actual job to do. 200,000, I believe, is who you oversee, 200,000 Marines.
I helped the common out with training, manning, and equipping of over 200,000 Marines.
Well, obviously, you can't just be having booze alongside everybody else. But last night was the 250th birthday. Yesterday, I guess, was 250th birthday of the Marines, older than the United States of America. And we just so happened to be at the Brigand Brew here at Parris Island, or on Parris Island. And I believe that's a pretty legendary place. And I'll tell you what, Monday Night Football was on, which we're about to dive into. And I thought Marines are pretty good at hammering beers.
Yeah, sure.
I think Marines are pretty good at hammering beers.
Some of the best.
And we obviously were honored to be there. We're not the only ones, though, that were from the sports world that wanted to say happy birthday to the Marines. Here's NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman live from the NHL Hall of Fame yesterday.
Greetings from the Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto. I wanted to join Pat McAfee virtually to Parris Island to wish Marines a happy 250th birthday. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for your service. And again, happy birthday, Marines.
He didn't drop an "Oorah!" at the end, but he did want me to say that he wished he was there at the Brigand Brew to chug a bunch of beers and happy birthday to the Marines. And also he'd want to say thank you so much for the hospitality. Thank you for your service to our country. Thank you for your service to the Marines. And thank you for your service. Happy Veterans Day, man. We appreciate you and many, many others that are signed a line and say, I'll go ahead and do it for America.
To every Marine out there, we love you. We're proud of you. My wife of 22 years, a Marine herself. I love her. And this is what it's all about, is showing you what this place is like so you can go forth and tell the rest of America that we got a good thing going here.
We will certainly do that. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Sergeant Major Carlos Ruiz.
Yeah, Sergeant Major.
Thank you. Golly. That's right there. That's crazy. Hey, thank you, Sergeant Major. You're the man. You're the absolute man. 32 years in the Marines, multiple tours of duty over there. Now he's... Yeah, can we mute? Oh, geez. It is a little breezy, I will say. Yeah, coming in yesterday, we had to land like 50 minutes away, Hilton Head, and gale force winds as soon as we land. It actually alerts on our phone. Gale. I don't know what that means, but I've heard anytime she's associated with winds, it's big.
Huge.
And we were certainly experiencing that yesterday as we came in. But this place has been incredible. Last night, the Brigand Brew was fun as one half of the Hammer Dahn Cowboys. AP Tone joins us. Last night, we watched Monday Night Football from the Brigand Brew.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was on the 250th birthday of the Marines. They were certainly celebrating as they should. Monday Night Football. Philadelphia Eagles take on the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau. It was going to be a cold Monday night in November. 80% of the bettors were on the Philadelphia Eagles, getting 1.5 I believe, on the road on Monday night. 80% of the bettors win, myself included. Tell me about the game last night that took place, and I cannot wait to hear Ty Schmidt's response to this Green Bay Packers loss to the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, it started as a bit of a cagey affair, as we like to say. It was scoreless at halftime. Defense has played awesome. Here you see Jordan Love at the end of the first half trying to make a play. didn't make a play, got them out of field goal range, ended up not scoring there at the end of the first half. But defenses were dominating early. Things got going for the Eagles later in the second half. But as you know, yes, Eagles win, cover, and then the under was just an easy play for the Eagles. As you see Saquon catching a ball out of the flat, hitting a dirty spin move.
Yeah, absolutely dirty spin move. Looked a little slow by my eye for Saquon's accounts, but I'll tell you what, a professional athlete, a great one at that. Missed him completely on prime time. Anytime you can do that, it's absolutely beautiful. What did we see from the Philadelphia Eagles last night? You know, cagey affair for sure, not a lot of points. D-Bud, what did we learn about this Philadelphia Eagles team? They can win the ugly one.
Exactly. You got to be able to win the ugly ones, especially at this point in the season on the road. We all know it doesn't matter how it looks. As long as you're in that locker room celebrating a victory, that's all that matters. And, yeah, points and big plays were hard to come by. This was a big-time play from Jalen Hurts down the field to Devontae Smith on a double move, beating quarters coverage, what looks like. Got to watch the all-22 to make sure, because I know it's a lot of coaches out there on the internet. But big-time play by him. And like you said, you got to find a way to win the ugly ones. Now, for the Packers, you lose another game now, and you're playing great defense, only giving up 16 points. 16 points or less. This is 3 losses now from this team. A lot of people are calling for a lot of jobs, but the Eagles, I mean, you find a way to get a win with the questionable fourth down attempt late in the game with Nick Sirianni talked about it after the game because it was 4th and 6. Kind of a funky, part of the
35-yard line. Would have been a 53-yard field goal. They're up 3.
Yep.
Sirianni came in afterwards and said, going up 6 is not much different than going up 3.
Exactly.
I disagree. I mean, I kind of disagree. But on that note, if it's a 53-yard field goal and he misses, you're getting the ball at the 43, only down 3.
Yeah.
Can't punt from there. They are kind of in an interesting spot. Why not roll the dice and throw a deep ball? Now, on that note, we showed the Devontae Smith touchdown, incredible play. The Packers would answer. Josh Jacobs would end up scoring a touchdown. It would get to 10-7 there late after Josh Jacobs scores here for the first time for the Packers with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. You finally get on the board. What a long night that had to be for Packers fans just trying to figure it out. And obviously, D-Butt talked about there's a lot of jobs on the line. It's like that offense, people were starting to question a lot of things.
Yeah.
Well, who runs the offense? Well, the head coach does. Well, let's talk about the end of the game that kind of went down whenever they're down 3. I don't know how many people were still up watching this. There was an interesting thing that kind of took place. We got 5 seconds left. We spiked the ball. Okay, we spiked the ball. 10-7. All right, 10-7. Brandon McManus is going to come out in a very windy night, try to kick a 64-yard field goal to tie this thing up for the Green Bay Packers in November in Lambeau.
Coming off a quad injury as well.
Coming off an injury in a windy night, though. I think they were even saying.
Yes, you can hear it in the microphone.
It's a windy, there it is. Hell yeah, happy birthday to Marines, and God bless the United States of America. Hoorah! McManus comes out for a 64-yard field goal. That's cool every time. And
every time.
Philadelphia Eagles call a timeout. They go, nope, timeout. Let's ice it. Let's make him think about this. McManus, OG, veteran of the game, goes, snap it, snap it, snap it, snap it. He wanted to get a look at a 64-yarder with how windy it was, just see what the ball would do. Now, years back, there was a decision by everybody that that's not how this is going to go. As soon as timeout happens, a ref's job is to run in front and basically stop the snap. Because anytime somebody can get a mulligan shot at something, they're definitely going to want that. Kickers, we used to steal it. I mean, Vinatieri and I, we used to steal Overton on the same page.
They would practice that back in the day.
Definitely. We're going out there. They have 2-3 timeouts. It's Vinatieri. We don't know if they're going to call timeout. But as soon as I hear the whistle for the timeout, I mean, we're snapping that thing immediately.
That ref better jump and put his body on the ball. For
exactly,
you to
because we want to see that thing. Like, especially if you're outside in a windy night, it's like we want to see what that is doing. Any golfer would want to do that. So McManus realized that the refs were not jumping in front, and the whistle's blowing. And he's like, snap it, snap it. Newer to the team. So he gets a chance to take a shot at it. He ends up being short. Hit a great ball, but he ends up being a little bit short. They even show the replay on TV. LaFleur sees this and goes, he's short. That's the best ball he's going to hit right there. Sirianni says, why is he allowed to do that? He's not allowed to do that. LaFleur says, we got to run play. We got to try to pick up some yardage. The Eagles defense said, what's stupid? We saw it too.
All over.
You're not going to get anything. What are we talking about? So now they waste 3 seconds. Sirianni's pissed that they even had the opportunity to do that. People are saying, LaFleur, was it work? Like, what are you even doing with the 3 seconds? And then McManus would get out, and he thought he was going to have to drive it a little bit more. He hits it fat. He pulls that thing completely.
So close.
Great. All right. And they lose on Monday Night Football. And at the end of it, it's almost like a comedy of errors of a disrespect for football. Is how some people are maybe viewing that. It was also clunky throughout the entirety. And the offense has been the downfall. You pay Jordan Love. Head coach is Matt LaFleur. Ty Schmidt, you're an owner of the Packers. Feels like you're very excited about today and the future of the Packers.
Yeah, I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of everything, to be quite frank. This is like the first time in my life where you can rely on the defense. Their defense is unbelievable. They keep them in every game. Every moment last night where it was like, hey, we need to stop here. We need something to happen so that we can at least get the ball back and get an opportunity to go either tie this thing up or win the game. You mentioned it. Jordan Love is making $55 million a year, and boy, he's looked bad the last couple weeks, like real bad. And, a lot of people want to put it all on him. I tell you what, I'm not going to call for Matt LaFleur's job because a lot of people are doing that today.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have to. Everyone's already doing that. But it's just like, it's the same shit every week. The offense is terrible. There was that fourth down play where, the Philadelphia Eagles knew exactly what the Packers were going to run. Their offense, for LaFleur, who's supposed to be this wonderkind, genius offensive coach, like they have the most vanilla plays. Everyone knows exactly what they're doing. And, they don't have anybody they can rely on, especially after Tucker Kraft, gets hurt. And then there's points in the game where things aren't going great, and you see LaFleur over playing Candy Crush on his on his Microsoft
That's not
Surface.
what he was doing. He was trying to figure out the defense. He knew the offense wasn't doing good.
Maybe, but I need to remind it, like, you're still the head coach. The game's going on. Like, this isn't he was sitting over there for 10 minutes dicking around on his Microsoft Surface, and it's like, hey, you still, you're the head coach. You still kind of got to know what's going on in the flow of the game.
Does everybody agree with you in Packers Nation, you think, or Cheesehead Town? What do you guys call your Packers Super?
Cheesehead Town?
Cheesehead Town. Everybody in Cheesehead Town?
Yeah, well, no. It's split because people love to make excuses for him. But my big thing is, I understand his record. I understand his winning percentage and all that kind of stuff. I'm very curious what that would look like and if he would still be the head coach if Aaron Rodgers wasn't the quarterback when he first got hired.
Whoa. Let's not be doing revisionist history.
I think you have to.
Aaron Rodgers went into a hole in the ground, okay? Mm-hmm. No lights, no phones, just him and his thoughts.
Yeah.
He didn't know what he wanted to do with football. Mm-hmm. While he was doing that, guess what all the Packers people are doing, LaFleur included, and Gutekunst, and Mark Murphy. They had their phones.
Yeah,
they had lights.
Sure.
They had their conversation. And they sent him 100 text messages. This guy won't respond to our text. We wanted to maybe keep him, but he didn't respond to our text messages. Did you know he was in a hole in the ground? Maybe, yeah. We tried to reach out to him. Mm-hmm. Aaron comes out of that hole, and he's told by the Green Bay Packers, hey, we're moving the hell on, bud.
See ya.
Welcome back to reality. Welcome back to life and lights and electricity. You're gone. Everybody, okay, we're associated with Aaron because Aaron Rodgers Tuesday's taking place, and obviously we know him, and AJ's like one of his best friends, actually. So we immediately go, wow, what a decision, okay? We judge Gutekunst pretty hard.
Big time.
We judge LaFleur pretty hard in this entire thing. We go, okay, yeah, just get rid of a first ballot Hall of Famer. That's the right move on how to get better. That's the right play. It's always going to be. Then they start having success.
Yeah.
And we look like assholes. Okay, me, mostly, because of what I said about Gutekunst. And then what the Jets ended up doing. So the Jets really hard with Aaron. Packers bad. We kind of go after during that. Then we end up being completely wrong because Packers start having success. They have the future. Now it sounds like over the last couple of weeks, maybe even last season and a half, LaFleur maybe doesn't have the vote of confidence from Packers. Is Jordan Love a guy? I mean, is Gutekunst a super genius?
Change the plays a lot.
Absolutely hitting the panic button.
Wow.
What?
They're not ever ready to play ever. You can't play to the level of your competition. I knew last night would be close. I didn't know if they'd win, but like D-Bud said, the 3 games they've lost, they give up 10 points, 13 points, and 16 points.
That's crazy.
In this day and age in the NFL, you have to win those games, especially when, again, all we hear about is how young and talented this offense is. Well, a couple guys get hurt. You sink a bunch of money into the offensive line in the offseason, and a guy like Aaron Banks, he got his ass beat all night. He's been hurt a bunch. They have other injuries on the offensive line, and it's just Jordan Love, like, we've seen the spurts, but it seems like you can't be as inconsistent.
Do people not think he's the guy? Do people honestly think he's not the franchise guy?
Everyone is saying that this morning. I think it's tough.
I'm talking, have they been saying it for weeks, or is this just overreaction? We lost when we scored 7 points. He's definitely not our guy.
No, there's no such thing.
Has there been rumblings for a while? Like, hey, we might have to seriously look in another direction eventually.
Yeah, it's been starting to kind of bubble to the surface a little bit, but I think that's why it's like, well, just wait until LaFleur can kind of really take him under his wing, and he can, he's a little bit of a quarterback whisperer. Exactly. But that's what I mean. Like a couple weeks ago, we watched him against the Steelers, and he throws for 380 280 yards and 3 touchdowns. And I know it's not the vaunted steel curtain that it used to be, but like that's an NFL team. That's an NFL team.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a football guru, quarterback pundit, super face of ESPN, former NFL quarterback, former teammate of mine, ladies and gentlemen, Dan Orlovsky. Dano! Couple, I would say about 22% of Marines out here clap for you. I was trying to eyeball it. I think about 22. Yeah, I think Dan.
They're all Cowboys fans. But thank you for your service.
I think
thank you for your service.
Dan, you should think about giving them like a hoorah right now. You should try to do that right now.
Let me see if I can do this in like the proper fashion. Hoorah!
Oh, you should not have responded to that. Okay, that was bad for the Marines.
Cadence
that
voice.
was bad for the Marine Corps right there. I don't know.
I got to do it better again?
You're
Just a little.
No, you had your chance.
No, we cannot have that.
That was so bad, dude. Holy shit.
All right, I'll do it again.
Oh,
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
my
You gotta stay
God.
quiet. You can't yell.
Yeah, it was
cuts it off.
Your AirPods actually said nope in the middle of that, so we didn't even hear it because they were so embarrassed for your mouth. Your AirPods were so embarrassed for what was coming out. I think you need one more. I think if you were to hit one more good one, I think it would.
I can't do it louder? All right. I'll try to do it not loud, but louder. Hoorah!
Why is he doing that?
That was the worst one.
Why? Yeah, well, you're like doing a Duval thing. You're doing like one of those.
Because, dude, I'm trying to get it to carry across my ear pods to you in an area that's got speakers and do it respectfully so I don't look like a complete jackass. So, like,
A jackass. It turns out you just did it. Hoorah! Yeah, see, Dano, I mean, that is just.
Hoorah!
Oh, all right, let's get the
His
football.
AirPods are letting him down.
Yeah, it's your AirPods. Well,
And
where
he's
are
letting
those?
us down.
I'm not getting into it. Not getting
It's a
into
great
it.
hoodie, though.
And I would like the Marines to know that what you are first to fighting for is a man to be able to drink what appears to be 10,000 cc's of a blue juice every single day. So thank you guys for doing that. We appreciate you guys doing that for us so this guy can live.
Big deal.
Let's talk about last night. Did you hear Ty? Yeah, I think you were on there while Ty was talking about full panic button in Green Bay. And I kind of went through our relationship with the Green Bay Packers fans and how stupid we looked at times. And now maybe in the end, I don't know how it's all going to play out. What are your thoughts on the Green Bay Packers last night? And is Jordan Love a guy? Is LaFleur a guy? Are the Packers done? Like, Ty is really hitting that panic button pretty loud this morning. Should he be?
They got to rip the Band-Aid off Jordan Love. They got to rip the handcuffs off him. This ain't a Jordan Love thing, okay? I've talked about this offense and the offensive line not being good enough. That was, once again, the case a little bit. Some of the play calling, trying to be overly creative. When I watched Jordan last night, I'm sitting there going, this is why I hate the term when people talk about in quarterback context, protect the football. Because I feel like the Packers for the last month offensively are in this, let's live in this protective world. And it even is impacting the way I feel like Matt's calling the game. You're not going to be great by living in this protection world. Jordan really hasn't been this, oh my gosh, he's careless with the football player for years now. It's this narrative that was a little bit of his early on, but the protect forcing him to play at times so gun shy, so cautious. And I want to tell LaFleur, like, dude, you got to rip the Band-Aid off of this. Your defense is fantastic. Stop playing it so close to the vest. Stop playing it so shy. Stop getting this quarterback to be so cautious with the football that, like, even the fumble that he has right before the half, D-Butt knows this. It's man-to-man. When you're in that situation, you get man, there's only two people he could throw this football to, right? It's a double move at the bottom of the screen or the tight end run the corner route. Other than that, it's like there's not really any other options. So there's not really a read that has to get made. Jordan Love goes to kind of make a throw before then right when he catches the snap and he doesn't throw it. Now, yes, that he can't do that. Yes, if you were going to ask me, the one area Jordan's got to grow in, it's like that situational football. The first drive sack on second down, don't take that sack, don't take. But before the sack even happens, D-Buck, I'm sitting there going, you got one-on-one. Throw the go route in the corner and see if you can make the best throw you could possibly make. So that's my overall offensive takeaways. They got to take the handcuffs off the quarterback and stop playing this protective style of offense.
Yeah, AJ has a question about all of that for you, and I appreciate that you're saying, hey, that guy that maybe isn't making the best decisions all the time, let's put more decisions on his plate.
Let him rip it.
Let's take the Band-Aid off. Let's make this thing even bigger. You think that'll actually unleash him as opposed to maybe continue to put him in situations where he panics? I don't want to say panics, but
I think that when you have quarterbacks that are so cautiously and consciously playing a don't make a mistake mindset on a play-by-play basis, you box them in so much. And I think that they become so high-stressed with that decision in that moment. Of course, you want guys to make the right decision on a consistent basis, but I need you to make aggressive decisions. We didn't pay you $55 million to manage this game. I paid you $55 million to go win.
Yeah, I mean, so to answer the how do you get him to be how do you get them to be more aggressive? Like, we could be honest about their number 1, their number 2, and number 3 pass catchers not being available last night as well. No Tucker Kraft, no Matthew Golden, no Jaden Reed. He's been out for a while. That certainly impacts 3 or 4 critical drops. It could potentially change the narrative of this. I don't find this offense predictable. I think there's a lot of moves. Sometimes I feel like they're overly complicated. Yeah, I've been on that train. So the 4th and 1 play call, here's my takeaway from that 4th and 1 play call, AJ, that you're talking about. Jordan talked that in hurry up when they were playing with some urgency, that they had run that play a couple times. I'm with that. Like, you got to use a different code word, or like maybe get to a different thing, or don't snap it, because obviously Philly, was all over it. I would also say this. Can we all agree to stop putting a non-mobile or non-threatened running quarterback in the gun on 3rd and short and 4th and short? If you're not going to run the quarterback on 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1, stop being in the shotgun to run the football. That doesn't make any sense. If you have him as a running threat, then I'm fine with it. But if the guy's never going to be a running threat on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1, then why are we in the shotgun heading 2nd down? And on 2nd down, it's run, 2nd and 9, run, 2nd and 8, run, 2nd and 10, run. Well, like, the defense is aware of that.
Inside zone right here. 97 name.
Majora.
Ojomo.
Yeah, that's an awesome moment. Now, obviously, there's times where D lineman or somebody calls out a play and they're completely wrong. Okay, that's a moment, game winner, basically, where they know exactly what the best play.
He was 1 for 100%.
Yeah, best play, gotta have it. That's the only time he's ever called a play. He always gets it right. Let's go to that side of the entire game last night. D-Bud has the last question for you here about the Eagles.
Jalen Phillips had a big time night too, but I want to ask you about the offense. We're talking about obviously the Packers offense, but the Eagles offense, they didn't put up a ton of points. Win's a win, especially on the road. Had that 4th and 6 late that they went for, didn't execute. What's your thoughts on the Eagles offense now and going forward?
Yeah, mentally tough was the performance last night from the whole group, and shout out to Lane Johnson. I mean, they got to remember that most of that game was played without their best player, Lane. Somehow Lane Johnson comes back and finishes that game. I have no idea how, because I can't imagine the physical and the toughness that he displayed. But I mean, the first drive is a huge deal because they chew up so much clock, the punch out fumble. For me, D-Butt, the touchdown pass to Devontae is such a thing of beauty, because they got their play action pass going in the second half. Okay, so this is why this touchdown pass is so good to me. If you guys can rewind it from the start, 1, D-Butt, they put formation in the boundary. Bottom of the screen, there's trips. Okay, so that gathers the attention. 2, it's A.J. Brown. 3, they motion over, play action. The safety near the bottom of the screen, you can't see me, be on your guy's left side. He's got to have vision on the tight end and the back. Jalen, he's trying to get that backside safety to stay down, and it's really about Devontae Smith now. I've created all the space to the bottom left of the screen. Devontae, you have to go win the route. And Debo, you'll appreciate this. Devontae does such a good job with the route because Devontae's lined up like 3 yards outside of the hash pre-snap.
Very condensed.
The safety's on the hash. He just chases leverage, gains leverage. See how he never makes a move? He just chases the leverage, and it's a great trust throw by Jalen. And that dude's one of the best 50-50 go-getters in the league.
Devontae Smith getting a touchdown. Good news for the wide receiver room in Philadelphia. Good news for the Eagles as a whole. And it sounds like the Eagles are pumped they get a win on Monday night. They keep it moving. And Packers fans think it's over. That's football, baby. Dano,
they're gonna be fine.
Any final messages here to the fine Marines on Parris Island?
Just a massive thank you. I don't have really anybody in my direct family that is a part of the military. My wife's father was in Vietnam, but I never got a chance to meet him. Both grandfathers in the wars, but I never met them. So I don't really have a direct family that's part of the military, but I have such like a ridiculous appreciation. I think when a lot of us accomplish some of the things that we're able to accomplish and get to live the lives that we get to live, we take it for granted at times. But today's certainly a reminder that freedom's amazing, man, and we don't get it without you guys. And shout out to Saw Dog for that's a family friend that was in the military. But man, on a daily basis, just super grateful. I think what you guys are doing, Pat, is awesome. So I wish we had every day like this, candidly. You know, wish every day we took 5 seconds to appreciate what we have as Americans.
Yeah, buy a coffee, say hello, say thank you,
Yeah,
and maybe
man.
even drop a "Hoorah!"
Hear that, Dan?
Hoorah!
Yep.
There we go.
See, thank you, Dan. Good.
Good work,
Let's go
Dan.
walk it off. As Dan was giving us incredible answers about last night's Monday Night Football teams. On the parade deck behind us, some of the platoons started to drill. And this is obviously, I got some quotes here on. It's a team building, discipline building throughout the 13 weeks in which they are becoming a team or becoming a Marine. They will practice their drill out here, and then at the end of this all, they will be on the parade deck and they will become Marines at the Eagle Globe and Anchor ceremony that comes after a 12-mile hike, basically around the entirety of Parris Island, and also at the end of a 54-hour period called the Crucible, which is the final days of your 13-week boot camp, which is basically just like a test of everything. Okay, and it's I think it's like 3 hours of sleep maybe throughout the entirety. It ends with that 12-mile hike, and then out here there's a lot of emotions and empathy as drill instructor becomes peer with Marines as opposed to recruit, and that's why getting an opportunity to be where we are right now is absolutely absurd because of how special the parade deck is behind us. And then obviously the Iwo Jima statue here is a part of the Eagle Globe and Anchor ceremony as well. After they get their pins, they come over here and gather around and they tell the story of basically this scene and talk about the Marines that they're chasing and who they're looking to be. And Sergeant Major said earlier today that no Marine wants to be the group or the generation that gets whooped. So the amount of pressure that is bestowed upon them on this parade deck behind us is one that basically is carrying the entire Marine Corps for the next 250 years. So it's a pretty special thing. Obviously we know that we're not supposed to be here, but since we were allowed to be here, I think we're the only show that was allowed to be on a base here on Veterans Day. I think we feel incredibly honored to be able to say thanks to all the badasses that, do everything they do for us and their families. So happy Veterans Day. I do appreciate that there is a sign and there has been a little bit of a crowd that has started to build. We did not ask for a crowd, okay? Because this is an operating place right now. They're trying to make war fighters right now, okay? So we just want to kind of get dropped in their world, showcase their world, do the show from the world. We don't want to interfere with anybody. Hey, Sergeant Major wants to come on. Is that all right? You okay with Sergeant Major if he... Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, well, Sergeant. How about the President of the United States? Sure, is that possible? Yeah, he would love to call in, especially to say thanks on Veterans Day. So at 1:10 Eastern Time, we will be having a call from the President of the United States, Mr. President Donald J. Trump. And obviously, he is calling in to chit-chat about everything that happens here at Parris Island, Veterans Day, and also, hey, sports takes, And I think there's a chance the government also... Right, I think.
Be cool.
I don't follow that world enough. I do know air traffic controllers down because everybody's life is pretty much at a standstill whenever it comes to that. But I do believe there's good news coming out, and especially on Veterans Day, we can celebrate the hell out of the great that has come from our country, which we are certainly surrounded by right now, AJ.
This place is unbelievable. Yeah, obviously I've never been here. I know you were able to come, but just the trees, everything. I was talking to some guys that said they were stationed here. This is where they slept for 3 months 20 years ago when they were becoming a Marine. So yeah, what an unbelievable setting.
And before we get out of here in the first hour, we reached out to Commissioner Goodell of the NFL if he had any messages for us to be able to deliver. He was en route back from Berlin at an FBO and said this.
Hi, I'm Roger Goodell. On behalf of all of us in the National Football League, I want to say thank you for all you've done and all you do for our country. We are so proud of you and your bravery and your commitment and the sacrifices that you make and your family make. We couldn't be more grateful to you. Thank you on behalf of all of us in the National Football League, and we are proud of you.
And what Roger didn't say at the end there is, "Hoorah!" I bet you Goodell's got a good man. All right, hour 2 will be on the other side. We'll be joined by the President of the United States. We also have a couple more commissioners and presidents that want to, make some statements in appreciation of the vets. And that's all we're trying to do here today. So be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. We'll see you on the other side. We have a great Texas boy named John. Okay, what's your last name, John?
John Mactoff.
Have you ever kicked a ball before?
I have.
When?
Growing up, I played soccer. In high school, I kicked kickoffs and onsides.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
All right, so I've never met anybody that just kicked kickoffs and onsides. Does that mean because you couldn't hit the broadside of a barn with the football?
So my junior year, I missed an extra point. We lost to the state champs by 1, and I was removed.
Oh. Redemption comes today for you, John. Here's the deal. Redemption is obviously sweet.
And looky here, he's taking his shoes off.
Okay, we're going barefoot. Okay, we got the Texas Tech Red Raiders cheerleader squad, which I believe is the best in the country as well. We got finger guns all over the place. We got phones everywhere trying to witness this moment that you will remember forever. Your kicking story doesn't have to end with a missed extra point, brother. It can end with one kick for $500,000.
I mean, just
$500,000 here in Lubbock, Texas. $500,000, John. One shot. Redemption is sweet. Oh! All right. That's not fun. That is not how I thought this was going to go.
Oh, my gosh. Oh. Johnny deserves one more shot at a Wichita.
John. No.
New ball. We got a new ball.
Yeah, but if you don't stand for anything, you fall for everything.
Yeah.
Okay, how about this? $250,000 to you, $250,000 to a charity here in Lubbock. This is your last kick, and this is your last opportunity, maybe in your whole life, to make a kick. You played soccer your whole life. You've kicked balls forever. Swing through the damn thing and put it through the uprights, and don't let Stanford Steve wave this off.
He likes to do that.
Yeah, make this thing pure, John. Good for John. Good for John. Good for John, man.
That was awesome. Good for John. I knew it. I was doing it.
Hey. You did it, buddy.
John.
Congratulations, John.
Yeah, brother. Good
All
job,
right,
man.
John.
Good job, bro. Hell yeah.
John, come get your big check that you need to take to a big bank because you just made a big kick to change your life. We're happy for you.
That is Parris Island Marine Corps Band. And what you just heard is the iconic, incomparable, the Marines hymn. Every Marine knows when they hear that song, they stand at attention until that song is over and they sing with everything they have. By the way, my name is Sergeant Major Carlos Ruiz, Sergeant Major of the United States Marine Corps. And we are here at Parris Island, South Carolina, where we make United States Marines. Right over my right shoulder is one of the most iconic images in our nation's history. Marines raising the flag in Iwo Jima on Mount Suribachi. What that told our nation is that there are people today, as they were yesterday, willing to fight for every piece of freedom that we have today. And thank you to them for their sacrifice and their relentless pursuit of never stopping moving forward. It is a reminder that freedom isn't easy, that it isn't free, and it is gifted to all of us by those who are willing to pay the ultimate sacrifice. So, for the first time ever, here at Parris Island, South Carolina, welcome to the Pat McAfee Show, and hoorah, veterans.
Hey, what? Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous
all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig!
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Beautiful people, and welcome to Parris Island on this Veterans Day, November 11, 2025. Hour 2 of the program begins right now. Hell yeah, I stepped on you there. That's 100% on me, the Marines. We are live from Parris Island, where they make Marines for the eastern half of the United States of America here on Veterans Day, as we try to shine a light on those who raised their right hand and said, we will do it for the United States of America if you need us to. Shout out to all the vets. We appreciate the hell out of your service, and shout out to the platoons that are currently on the parade deck behind us here, working on drill, which is a part of a 13-week boot camp to become a Marine. They show up in buses, in trucks, and load onto the yellow footprints. And 13 weeks later, on that parade deck, in front of that statue of Iwo Jima, where Marines are raising the United States of America flag, they become Marines in an Eagle Globe and Anchor ceremony. And the grounds that we are currently sitting on for this particular show are hallowed and amazing. And we are very thankful and honored to be here. And we will be speaking to the President of the United States in about 6 minutes or so on this Veterans Day live from where Marines are made. The toxic table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Ty, you didn't make it this morning.
No, I didn't.
Okay, that was something where I think last night we all kind of knew.
You pegged it right when I left. You pegged that I probably wasn't going to be there.
Yeah, 0400 hours. You know, we got lights, which is the start of a day for every single recruit and obviously their drill instructors. We had the opportunity to watch it. You obviously missed the intensity there and the start to the day. But what is the sense that you're feeling as we're here on Parris Island, your first-time visitor?
Yeah, I mean, it's just an unbelievable experience. Like Connor said, it's hard not to kind of get overcome with emotion when, you know, you're in front of the Iwo Jima statue right here. And I mean, same deal, like the hospitality that we've received, like we're all civilians obviously, and for everyone to kind of take us in and show us around, and to be here on Veterans Day, I mean, this is truly like a once in a lifetime opportunity, and we're never going to get this opportunity again.
You talk about being here on Veterans Day. Yesterday was 250th birthday of the Marines, and we're on Parris Island. That's like somewhere where we were somewhere a lot of Marines stationed all around the world wish they were. So we would like to let you know, we feel like we tried to do it service. Okay, we had beers, we had drinks, we ate fried pickles, we did some burgers, we did some toast, we did some soy, we watched football with the boys. I feel like we tried our best to enjoy. We went to Chow Hall this morning. I mean, we really
pool with the boys.
Yeah, you're damn right. Did we win?
Him and Bruce were rolling it on the table.
That's 9-year NFL vet Darius J. Butler. Did not know he was a billiard shark down here at Brigham Brew. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, who had a brutal loss last night on Monday Night Football. A.J. Hawk is here. And one half of the hammer, Dahn, Cowboys AP Tone. What would you put the odds on any of us surviving? Let's go 48 hours here at the beginning of a 13-week boot camp to become a Marine.
You three, I put pretty good odds.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why don't we just do those three odds?
Pretty good odds for you three.
Well, how old are we though? Like, there's no way.
18.
Oh, 18-year-old me?
Yeah, obviously. 37, 38-year-old you.
I mean, you didn't even think about it.
I tried to sign the dotted line this morning, but you have to be 32 under, I believe, so that was a shame on my part.
So are you trying to do fake potential stolen valor?
Yes.
That is what it sounds like.
What I've learned here is since I've been here, I don't feel better about myself as a human being, but I feel a lot better about the country and our future.
Okay. I think that was a compliment. Have you delivered one to the... Hoorah! He just tried to steal your guys' shit.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he said he wanted to get a sign of paper this morning, but he's too old. He would have never. Okay? That guy would have showed up on the yellow footprints, not only made them more yellow, but would have collapsed immediately from an anxiety attack. But on that note, dogs are made here, and we're very, very grateful for that. We'll be joined by the president here in a matter of moments. But let's talk about last night's game. Eagles get a win over the Packers. They miss a 64-yard field goal at the end of it. And the NFL is starting to become what we think it is, especially on the NFC side. We talked about the 4 o'clock slate. The heads of the NFC kind of dominated and made football bad. I think you tossed the Eagles, obviously, in there. Do we know what the NFC is at this point, D-Butch?
I don't think so. And I know everybody's hitting the panic panic button on the Packers. I'm still not fully out on them because when you have a dynamic and a dominant defense, I feel great about that. So I'm not out, but we don't know yet. They're stacked at the top for sure.
Stacked at the top. The AFC obviously being dominated by the Indianapolis Colts, which is a beautiful thing. And on this Veterans Day, it is our honor, live from Parris Island, to say, ladies and gentlemen, joining us now for the first time ever, the 45th and 47th President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump.
Yeah.
Mr. President.
Hello, Pat. Hi, Pat.
So most people would think with our show that this would be an impressionist of the president because no president would actually join us. But on this Veterans Day, we want to say, Mr. President, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you. And I'm only joining you because I hear you say such nice things about me from your very large audience. I've always heard you've said such nice things. So when people say nice about me, I join. When they don't say nice about me, I take a pass.
Okay, that's not a bad way to look at things. You should see, I don't know how much you know about me. I feel very similar about how I treat people and operate people. Mr. President, let's talk about Veterans Day. Obviously, we're down here at Parris Island. I think we're the first show that has ever been broadcasted live from here. We're very thankful to be the only show that's currently on a military base, and we wanted to say our thanks, even though we're just sports stooges. For you, what does Veterans Day mean, especially now that you're Commander-in-Chief again?
Well, to me, it means taking care of the veterans because they've taken care of us. And, you know, we have a 92% approval rating at the VA. And I just got back from making a speech. It was beautiful, the whole surrounding, the whole, I don't know if you've got to witness it a little bit on television, but it was something. And the veterans have taken such good care of us. What I think of with the veterans is how do I take care of the veterans? And we've done a really good job. Doug Collins, as you know, is the secretary. And we have a tremendous approval rating. We do a couple of things. Number one, we allow veterans, if they have to wait online, we allow veterans to go see a doctor. We take care of the price. You know, the veterans before me had to wait online for, in some cases, not even believable, months. And they had something that could have been taken care of easily, and they ended up becoming terminally ill. And I took care of that. Then Biden came in and he evaporated that, and I just put it back again. And that was choice, and we have a choice, and we also have accountability. We call it Veterans Choice and accountability. We had a lot of bad people at the VA, and you weren't able, because of the various unions and laws and everything else, you couldn't fire anybody. I got that taken care of in Congress. And we let go of 9,000 people and put 9,000 loving people that love the vets. We had sadists in there. We had people that was just horrible. You couldn't do anything about it. I got rid of that, and we ended up putting in 9,000 people that love our vets, and we take care of our vets. So to me, the vets, they've done their job. They've been fantastic. They're incredible people. They also voted for me, about 92% or something, so we have to remember that. It's always nice when you have that. It's like the beginning of our conversation, appreciation. But
Yes.
they're just spectacular people. They don't want much, and they gave so much.
Yeah, they don't want much, and today is certainly a good day to remind everybody to say at least a thanks, maybe buy a coffee. You talked glowingly there of Secretary of Veteran Affairs Doug Collins, who I got to meet this past weekend whenever he came and visited Texas Tech as BYU was down there for college game day. Massive, massive crowd. He cut a promo, and he basically said that the messaging that he is trying to get out, obviously amongst all the other stuff, is there's a lot of young veterans, I think, that don't know that the VA is there for them. Is that a message that you guys kind of all giving? Because I think a lot of the younger vets view the VA as like an older type thing. And I think if I'm listening to Secretary Doug Collins speak, his big messaging and why he was at game day, and I think there's a chance why you guys are joining us, is like young vets also need to understand that the VA is there for them, Mr. President. Is that accurate?
Well, it's true, and Doug really brings that to heart. And it's really an amazing factor. The young vets don't know about it too much, and the older do. And frankly, the older vets, they wouldn't be able to make it without the VA. They do such a good job. So we're there for everybody. I mean, we're there. When you're a vet, you're a vet. And we take care of our vets like nobody's ever taken care of them before.
Well, we appreciate the hell out of that for sure. And that's one big ooh-roll! New Marines, Mr. President, just ooh-rawed the hell out of you there for what you just said about
that's good. Well, we love them. They are a special group indeed.
Mr. President, have you ever done an ooh-raw to a bunch of Marines?
Not the kind that I just heard. I just heard a level of professionalism with the way they did it that I don't think anybody can match it, to be honest. That's very impressive.
Mr. President, why don't you drop one? Mr. President, why don't you drop an oorah real quick?
I will. Hoorah!
Yes. Okay. We love everything about that. Let's pivot away from obviously all the great work that the VA and you all are trying to do for our vets and our military. Let's talk a little bit about sports, and we'll talk about our country. We all saw you fly over the Ryder Cup. Okay, we all saw the decision that was made while you were wearing golf cleats in the White House lawn saying, hey, the boys need us. We need to fly over there. Obviously, we don't get the win, even though Sunday ended up getting a little bit more of a fight than we thought. Are we ever going to be able to win a Ryder Cup going forward? How do we answer the questions that we have at USA Golf, Mr. President?
Well, look, if you look at the Ryder Cup, and I play golf, and I guess a lot of people play golf, and some people understand it, some people don't. But, the other team, they really sank a lot of putts. I mean, you're looking, and they're sinking 30-footer, 40-footer, 70-footer, just one after another. And it was interesting. It looked like it was over, and then Sunday, they almost came back. You have to give a big hoot to an opponent who dropped about a 6-foot putt. That was a big putt. That final putt. Well, that was a big putt, but that was very close. Look, I think they putted unbelievably. Really, they were unconscious with it. I really believe that was unusual because I've never seen so many long putts go in before. And I don't think, generally speaking, that would happen. Our team actually hit the ball a little bit better, hit more fairways. If the rough were longer, as an example, they were saying if the rough were longer, and you had a great captain of the American team, of both teams. You had a great captain of both teams. Of course. But if the rough were longer, it might have been a little bit different. But look, they're all great players, everyone. I know so many of them from both sides, and they are just very talented people.
Why were the golf gods letting their putts fall and not ours, Mr. President?
I don't know. I guess it was just our turn to, you speak. Somebody probably said the wrong thing, but the golf gods, they would not. Well, they almost came back on the final day.
Yes, they did. Yeah, they gave us a little bit. They gave us a little bit of a show, Mr. President.
Well, it looked pretty good. I'll tell you. It was looking pretty good. Well, pretty good. It was a hope and a prayer because going in, but to come that close you have to say, it was a pretty good comeback.
Okay, absolutely. The American spirit fought on that Sunday, even though we need to win next time. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, A.J. Hawk, has a question for you, Mr. President.
Yeah,
Okay, he's a great player. That's true.
I appreciate that, Mr. President. Obviously, you look around the NFL, there's a lot of great leaders that are coaches. Have you ever looked and thought, like, one of these guys, who would be a great president for the United States of America? We got Dan Campbell, we got Mike Vrabel, we got Matt LaFleur last night. You ever think of these guys?
Nobody's saying him.
Who could possibly be a great president?
And by the way, they were, we had the great Philadelphia team here, and he's some coach too, by the way.
Coach Sirianni, Paisan.
He's great. They're all, you got a lot of talented people. I've often thought, strategy-wise, you see some of the good strategy. Every once in a while, you see some pretty bad strategy, too. We can name plenty of that. But you see strategy. I've often said we go out and we get the best 4 or 5 coaches, put them in a room. If you go into war, and you use them as because they do it. Ultimately, it's all about strategy. It's about attack. It's about, what angle. Give me the angle of attack. I'll bet you some of these coaches would make great warring generals. And I would say I would not be beneath doing that. You get 5 or 6 of those guys. I know some of them. They come to the White House every year with the winning team, the winning Super Bowl team. I've gotten to know them really through that. But you wouldn't lose badly if you did that. I'll tell you. They are tremendous guys, great leaders.
Mr. President, can you tell me about your chat with foreign leaders about sports? Has it come up much? Because I believe that sports are like the great unifier. I think in the United States of America, obviously, you're in the middle of this world now, former businessman, dropped into politics. Everybody's going to yell at each other's face, basically, about a lot of things in your guys' world. You just hope for some progress and obviously make some magic happen. But sports, if you look at a stadium, and I think you mentioned it being a microcosm of life. If you look at a stadium, there's people from so many different backgrounds, so many different socioeconomic backgrounds, all coming together with different political beliefs, all rooting for their team to kick the other team's ass. I think it's one of the greatest unifiers on earth. Do you and world leaders talk about sports, the importance of sports, and have you ever thought about that as a concept of conversation?
Well, I did it the other night with two very nice people, as you know, with the Fox broadcast, and it was a little bit of a blowout game, in all fairness, with the Commanders as opposed to the Redskins. What happened to the Redskins, by the way? But it was the game wasn't the greatest game, but those two guys were really, we had a good talk. And I talked about sports. To me, it's like a microcosm of life. It really is. It's a, you see the winning and the losing and the comebacks and the routes. You see everything, and you see it quickly. You don't see it in, over a lifetime. You see it over 2 hours. And you watch football, you watch games that are won, and all of a sudden they're fighting for survival, and they lose the game or they barely win the game. It's just that's what it is. And life is very much like that. You have to fight, and you have to just keep fighting no matter what the circumstance, and you got to win. And ultimately, you got to win. It's about winning. And you got to keep winning, because if you win, but you don't win the last couple of, it's what have you done for me lately? Unfortunately, I find that a lot, certainly in politics. We just had a big win against the Democrats with the opening. They shut down our country. They wanted $1.5 trillion to be paid to people.
Is that open again? I heard there's
Mr.
President, is that open? I heard there's like a third. I don't know your guys' world well, but is it open? I heard there's like a 30-hour time period where maybe it's not. Are we back open?
It's a little time. Well, it doesn't until the House votes. So the House is going to vote, and I think they're going to vote positively. I think most people want to see it open. Only people that hate our country want to see it not open, because our country is doing so well, so we don't want to waste these times. These are precious times. We have $17 trillion plus being invested on our country. That's many times more than any country has ever had. We don't want to be wasting time. So they tried to basically renegotiate the great, big, beautiful deal. They weren't able to get it. And now they said, let's close up our country and we'll see if we can get it. But again, getting it for people that came into our country illegally from prisons, from gangs, from mental institutions, from places that you don't want, and giving them $1.5 trillion in medical costs and things. You just can't do this. You can't do it, and it ruins it for everybody else. So they were not successful in renegotiation, and it looks like it's going to be opened up. But you're right. It's the House has to vote, and then, of course, I have to sign it.
Okay, so once again, I don't know your guys' world. I assume everything you just said there will have some people very pissed about it, and then obviously the rest of the world, United States of America, will be very excited that the government is back open. So I think that deserves a big hoorah! Yeah, I think they're loving it. The government's back open over here.
Well, we got the military paid anyway, Pat. You have to understand. There's no way we weren't going to pay the military. But how about this? There was a little bit of a shortfall, and a friend of mine called, a very successful, rich guy, a great guy, a great patriot, and he called. He said, listen, if there's a shortfall, I want to pay for it. So I looked around. I said, is there a shortfall? They said, about $130 million. He wrote a check for $130 million. So that our military got paid perfectly on time. How about that? That's called a patriot.
Hoorah! People are writing checks, these college football places to build up facilities and get players, not $130 million or whatever, but maybe for some building. Somebody saying, hey, does the military need it? We'll write the check today. That's awesome. That's private business coming together with the government to make things happen for the military. Happy Veterans Day for everybody that day. A couple more questions. Is that okay, Mr. President? I know you're very busy.
Yeah, go ahead. Sure. You have a beautiful audience, so the answer is absolutely. Why not?
Hey, why don't you give him another hoorah, Mr. President?
Hoorah!
Yeah, it's getting better and better. I think Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Mr. President, it's an honor and a privilege to ask you a question. One of our friends of the program is Coach Nick Saban, and we're talking about the Ryder Cup and maybe them bouncing back, and also the World Cup is on the horizon in America. Do you think we could possibly get Coach Nick Saban to help out in some aspects so that we could have some success on these world fronts?
Nice.
Well, I know him, and I got to know him because he brought his team to the White House. He had the team. He won a lot. and I got to know him. He's a fantastic guy, and he's somebody that really they should get involved in college sports in terms of making sure that it all works out. Because what's happening is it looks like it's not working out too well for colleges, for most of the people. And a lot of the lesser sports are being totally terminated. You know that. It's a shame. It was almost like a training ground for the Olympics, and a lot of those training grounds are being lost. And Nick knows this stuff better than anybody. He's really active in it. I think they ought to let Nick Saban take a good, strong look at it. And I can tell you, from my standpoint, I'd listen to what he has to say. But I know him well, and he's a fantastic guy. And what a great coach.
Mr. President, he's not going to love it. You just signed him up for that job. He's not going to love it. That college sports.
Easy. I'll tell you what, that's not as easy as it sounds, that job.
A lot of questions over there in college sports because obviously sports are up and to the right with everything, even the blowout games, which I appreciated whenever the Washington Commanders, which I love that you're like, okay, that's their name. They lose to the Lions when I'm at the game. Maybe we change the name back to what it was. But on that note, as soon as they score in that blowout game, your immediate thought is that should be good for your ratings.
Yep.
And then they go to a commercial break because the game was getting better. Sports ratings right now up and to the right. Everybody wants to come together. College sports up and to the right. Everybody just kind of feels like the back end of it is kind of just full chaos and it can't hold up for long enough. I think if you were to get involved, and we asked Governor Jeff Landry from Louisiana about this as well, I think we do need some sort of government something, Mr. President, for the back end of college football. I think we all understand that the players deserve money. I think we all understand their value, but I think an actual market and guardrails would be something that would be really good. This could be something along with stopping wars and building in tariffs and $17 trillion. Maybe just put that on your desk. Go ahead and figure out the back end of college sports, Mr. President.
Well, it is a very serious problem because even football, when they give quarterbacks $12 million, $13, $14 million, I read a couple of them, and all of a sudden you're going to see it's going to be out of control. And even rich colleges are going to go bust because you're not going to be able to do this. And, they had the old way. They gave scholarships and they did lots of good things. But, there could be some form of payment. But when they start bidding up the costs, look, the NFL and all teams, they have caps. You don't really have that in college sports. And when the guard comes along that weighs 350 pounds and he's phenomenal, and they say that's going to make the difference between having a great team and a lousy team, and they give him $10 million, that's going to start happening pretty soon. All of a sudden, you're going to have, like, NFL-type payrolls, and I don't care how rich the colleges don't make that much money, even the most successful. So they're not going to be able to do this. Bad things are going to happen unless they figure this out. That's why a guy like Nick Saban, and I'd work with Nick, but a guy like Nick Saban and some others getting together because they're going to have to do something. Colleges can't afford it. And what they're doing, I don't want to use any particular sport because it's, degrading, but they are really terminating a lot of sports, sports of, you would call them lesser sports, but big sports, good sports, and sports where they have tremendous interest. They're getting rid of them. And frankly, the college football, it's very big. But as big as it is, if they don't do, some very powerful caps, these colleges are all going to go out of business, no matter how rich they are.
I'm fascinated to see what 10 years from now looks like with college sports. And you said Coach Saban should be a part of it. We agree completely. He's going to say, you're a president, all right? You go ahead and do it. But anyways.
Say, no, you do it. You tell me I'm not doing that.
Exactly.
You know what? He's too smart to get involved in that.
Yeah, exactly. He's golfing right now. Hey, Mr. President, he's golfing right now 2 times a week. He's got a little speaking circuit. He's selling Ferraris. He does college game day. Him and Miss Terry living good. He's like, you want me to go take on 1,300 student athletes and every business behind it? He would be perfect. Hopefully you're able to get to that. Last question here for you, Mr. President, comes from Ty Schmidt.
Yeah, Mr. President, you've obviously been afforded the opportunity to go to some of the best sporting events, over the last, over your lifetime, I suppose. But we saw you, in the Yankees clubhouse on 9/11, which was awesome. A bunch of different big-time college football games, Army-Navy included. You were just at the Ryder Cup, obviously the NFL game. Is there one sporting event that either you haven't been to yet that you'd like to go to, or is there one where you are thinking like, man, if I could have the opportunity to experience that for the first time again, I would love to do that?
Well, you're going to see, I was able to bring in my first term, sign up the World Cup. So you're going to have the World Cup. and you're going to have the Olympics. I never did the Olympic thing, so we're going to have both the Olympics. I signed both of them up. I never thought I'd go to see him as president, but then we had an election that there was a little hanky-panky going on, as you say, and now all of a sudden I'm the president during those two. And then, of course, we have the 250th year, which, the anniversary thing, which is big. I do have to say, look, I like them all. I love sports, but I do have to say, and I'll probably get myself in a little trouble with this, I hate the kickoff.
Oh, come on, Mr. President.
That's weird. I think it's so terrible. I think it's so demeaning, and I think it hurts the game. It hurts the pageantry. I've told that to Roger Goodell, and I don't think it's any safer. I mean, you still have guys crashing into each other, and it's so, it's the opposite of what the game. The ball is in the air and nobody's moving. It's supposed to be when the ball is in the air, when the ball is played, you're supposed to be moving.
It's a live ball, Mr. President.
You walk in, and the pageantry of the game is so badly hurt. And I don't think NFL, they do what they want to do, but I don't think they'll change. I hope college football doesn't change because, the power of the kickoff was so beautiful. And now I don't want to say what it reminds me of because I'll get myself into big trouble. But it is not football. And I have no idea what you guys may disagree with me. I don't think it's going to help.
No, Mr. President, this is how we feel. I feel as if they were just going to get rid of the kickoff and special teams as a whole. As a former punter and kickoff guy, anything to save the play, I'm on board with because they were on their way to kind of move it out. So this version of the kickoff kind of became like the last hope, basically, for the kickoff. But what you said about the original kickoff, I think every football person is like, yeah, let's go back to that, especially with onside kick capabilities and surprise onside kick capabilities.
Oh, so good. Yeah, it's so good. Exactly. And now it's so bad. It's so bad. It's so unromantic, and it just is demeaning to football. I don't think they have a right to do that to the game. Right. The game is so important. I don't think the people that approve that, I don't think anybody has the right to do that to the game. And I hope college doesn't change, and I hope that someday the NFL will stop it and go back to football.
Goodell has no idea. You got Cash Patel on the rolls right now to see if he's even allowed to change that kickoff in the United States of America. Mr. President, we appreciate your time. Do you have any final messages to the Marines that are around us and the veterans as a whole on this Veterans Day?
Well, I just want to say hello to all of the guys and gals that are in your audience. They're fantastic. You just don't get any better, and we love our veterans, and I'm taking care of the veterans better than any president has ever done by far. Nobody's ever had those approval ratings at the VA like we have, and Doug Collins is devoting his life to it. It's the most important thing he's ever done. So I just want to thank everybody. Happy Veterans Day, and Pat, keep up the good work. We really appreciate it.
I appreciate you, Mr. President. How about one last hoorah for the crowd?
You want me to do another one? I'll do another one. Hoorah! Hoorah!
You're the best. Ladies and gentlemen, that's President 45 and 47 of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump. Thank you, Mr. Trump. Mr. President.
Thank you, everybody.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you too, Mr. President. See you later. Okay. That's outrageous.
Holy shit.
That was not an impressionist. It was actually Mr. President. I will like to say, though, for the immediate people that are going to be mad about that happening, as President of the United States, it's Veterans Day. He's the Commander-in-Chief. Obviously, if we have the opportunity to talk to him, we're going to. And he is hilarious. I mean, he is the way. It's demeaning to the game. He's talking about the game. Are they even allowed to do that? Are they even allowed to do that? Got to be the only president that's ever acted the way he has. I would like to say, as soon as we found out that this was an opportunity, I reached out to President Obama as well and his team to potentially come on because of scheduling and conflicts. They were very kind and obviously sent incredible hope for the veterans and everything, and thankful and honor for them and everything. And I believe they just released a video of him welcoming back an honor flight of Vietnam vets back to America. So obviously very thankful. But because of schedule, wasn't able to do that. But I did reach out to President Obama as well and his team. Got a chance to get a hold of him. I think there's a chance that conversation will happen later. But on that note, aside from politics aside, we just had the president on during Veterans Day, and listening to him talk about sports is cool because I think he is legit sports fan. Like I think he's actual sports fan. The college football thing, it feels like he's got world stuff going on. A little bit. I don't know if we could just toss the college football in there, but he talks about how important it is to the United States of America, and I appreciate that. But I did want to put a little pressure on him, like, hey, Let's go ahead and look into that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of paperwork that needs to be done.
We've tapped everything we could. You tapped Saban. Now you tap the President of the United States. I don't know who's next to do
Jeff
this.
Landry, Governor Jeff Landry.
He's got a lot. I don't know. He's got a lot on his plate, too. He's got a lot of gator hunts.
Not just gator hunts. So allegedly, they're potentially looking for probable cause for that fire. So it was $54 million,
We'll
which
just look
was
at the record.
what was owed to Brian Kelly. And, there was a chance that they were going to have a conversation about maybe a buyout, like right now, if we were to give you $40 million as opposed to this $54 million kind of over the next couple of years. Maybe you'll agree to a buyout right now, a lump sum. It's like when you win the lottery and you can either take it over like 30 years or you can take the lump sum, but you're going to get taxed a bit to get that money into your bank account the next day. It's a negotiation. It's like a deal or no deal. So everybody thought maybe they're going to offer like $40 million, $44 million out of the 54. You can get it today as opposed to over. Well, now that didn't happen. I guess Brian Kelly and his people said, no, we'll take the
we'll go to court. If you
next
don't want
couple of
this.
years are cool. And then allegedly now LSU's like, do we owe him anything actually? There's some probable cause for the firing means no guaranteed money going forward, which is always a part of a contract. So that's where LSU is right now. It's going great. It's going great. They still don't have a head coach. But what we do know is Brian Kelly's going to end up with a lot of money. LSU's going to have a new head coach. Maybe it's Kelvin Shepard, D-Bud.
I hope so. And, I mean, God bless America. You're getting fired and you're getting that type of check to walk out
That's
the
what Jeff
door.
Landry said.
And probably, golf. But me and Jeff Landry see a lot of things differently. But
what are you talking about?
He earned that. He earned that
Nebraska
job.
football?
And obviously, you sign a contract on both sides and you got to, pay your due. Didn't Matt Rule or didn't he have a situation with the
Carolina, I think there was a little bit of that.
He got paid. So, it's a good gig to get into and even a good gig to get fired from. So, yeah,
Why would Rule agree to it?
Why would Brian Kelly?
Or Brian Kelly, I'm sorry. Why wouldn't he say, no, my buyout clearly says you owe me $54 million. Why would I give you a deal?
You get $40 million right now.
I'm not standing up for Brian Kelly.
You get $40 million right now, or you get it over the next.
So they're gonna boom, $40 million lump sum.
That would be the deal. That's the negotiation.
If that's the negotiation, then that's a
I
question.
think they're past that negotiation.
Well, wasn't it reported that I think that the lump sum offer was like 25 maybe, and he said no way, and then they raised it to maybe like 28 or 30. But yeah, I mean,
So
you're not
about this
leaving
for years now?
$25 million on the table to get a lump sum right now. I don't think.
So much going on in sports. Obviously, on this Veterans Day, we're so thankful to be here at Parris Island as platoons are rolling into the parade deck to drill, I believe. There's an all-female platoon here. Okay, so I believe females account for, and Bruce Brown back in the truck might have to correct this a little bit. It's 5.1% of the Marine Corps as a whole. And we saw one of their platoons this morning at 4:27, maybe 4:30, outside, 30 degrees, howling wind.
Yeah.
Hear them 2 buildings over. Just, just the entire thing you walk by. Obviously, badass dogs everywhere around this place, and it's been cool to learn about. It's been very cool to learn about. It's also been very cool to reach out to different leagues and say, hey, we're going to be very lucky to be live from Parris Island on this Veterans Day. Is there anything you want to say to the vets from your league? Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred actually answered the call, and this is what he had to say on this glorious Veterans Day about our vets.
Pat, thank you for the opportunity to be with you on Veterans Day. Baseball has a special relationship with the armed forces and veterans. Historically, great players like Ted Williams and Yogi Berra interrupted their careers to serve. And today, many clubs honor a veteran at every single game. On this holiday, all of us at MLB want to recognize our veterans and thank them for their service.
Hell yeah, Rob. Ooh, Rob! Thank you, Rob Manfred. Baseball has a lot going on in it right now. So obviously I saw the Clace and the other case going on right now with pitches and balls. Jeff Passan, as soon as this entire thing started off, Jeff Passan was like, it's going to get to a point where we're going to have to wonder if every single pitch is potentially up for grabs, especially with live betting, how you can just, hey, next pitch is going to be a ball, or second pitch, 5th inning, going to be a ball. And now it's coming to fruition, I guess. And they're saying there wasn't a lot of money going to the pitchers.
No.
But there is $400,000 plus being won by the bettors on the outcome of one pitch throughout an entirety of a game. They're pushing to place $200 max parlay bets on these things so that people can't win $400,000. It can't be as leveraged as it has been. Baseball's got to get this figured out, though, Ty Schmidt. It feels like. Thank you to Rob Manfred. Thank you to MLB for their history with the military. But they have certainly a problem that obviously sports has created as a whole. It's not just a baseball problem, but they have one that they have to get to the bottom of.
Yeah, they got to get rid of it, I think. Like, I understand that's a good start with $200, but like Emmanuel Clase, the guy you're talking about, yeah, I think he got maybe $7,500 from doing this.
So it's not like
Why is
Case.
he doing it?
That's what makes he is one of the best
It's
closers in baseball. If whenever he is going to get a new like he would have been making $35 million a year. So it's
insane.
just like, I don't know, maybe you're trying to help out somebody, but you just don't need to have that. That's like real degenerate shit. Like, it really is. I mean, I know a lot of people like to gamble, but like, man, do it inning by or at bat. You don't need to have pitch by pitch, because you can see, like, it'd be very easy for a guy to just be like, oh, okay, I'll throw the first pitch, I will throw a ball, and then I'll strike this guy out. Nobody's going to be, none the wiser, and we'll move on. But for a guy who's making millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars every year to potentially throw his career away for like $7,500, like, come on.
Yeah, none of it really makes sense in our eyes. But we do know that if you have a friend or you're leveraged somehow, if you become out of leverage, you're in a bad spot, $4,000 or $5,000, you're kind of forced to do something. Doesn't sound like early indications or any of that was taking place. It was just kind of like friends helping each other, because they put some text messages in there about the better. I think somebody swung at a pitch that was supposed to be a ball. It was clearly
Anthony Volpe.
Yeah, so Anthony Volpe, I guess, is in a court case with having a terrible eye, in everybody's eye. No problem, Volpe. We still think you're a dog. But I guess because it wasn't a ball and it was a strike, the better loses. Yeah. Better sends emoji to pitcher. Pitcher, first thing he does after game is almost respond saying, I'm so sorry. And he actually got a win. So I think there's a personal relationship there that was potentially happening as opposed to a leverage relationship that was happening in this case. But nonetheless, to your point, I don't think we need to be gambling on every single pitch. That's not what we're doing in sports. It can't be what we're doing in sports. And if you just get rid of that as a gambling thing, it takes away a huge liability of integrity of sport. I think each sport needs to start looking for those things.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm with Ty and with you that it's not necessary. Like, there's enough stuff to bet on that you don't need to be able to bet on every single individual pitch. And I know this might not be popular either. I'm not even like a huge hey, we need player props type guy. Because
slow down.
Oh, sorry,
slow down,
Bugsy.
Toad.
I'm just saying, there's a lot to bet on that. If obviously touchdown parlays, stuff like that. Those are awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
But
whoa. I don't know what's going on. We're going somewhere right now.
Run.
We're going right now.
I feel safe. I know that.
This is my rifle. There are many like it, but this one is mine. My rifle is my best friend. I must treat it as I must treat myself. God, I don't know where they're going, but I'm thankful that they are doing it. Hoorah! Hoorah! They're going to the next part of their day. What could that? Oh, you guys only yes sir, no sir. I got to do yes, no sir. Are they potentially heading back to barracks right now?
Yes, sir.
So they're going to get changed right now?
No, sir.
Oh, they got stuff still to do back when they get to the barracks?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is that? We got more discipline?
Yes, sir.
Are we doing more workouts?
Yes, sir.
Are we eating again?
No, sir.
No sleep, no eat, sir.
Maybe squeeze a nap in.
Yeah, any naps? Any naps? Okay. Okay. Crucible, 54 hours?
Yes, sir.
More than 6 hours of sleep?
No, sir.
Okay. Through the whole thing. That's the whole thing. And they're fucking marching.
I believe Sergeant Major said did they graduate on Friday?
Yeah.
Yes.
They've already done their crucible, though. So they've already done that. They graduate on Friday. So you've been here for 15 weeks now?
No, sir.
Oh, no. 16 weeks?
No, sir.
Shit.
12 weeks? He's saying go under.
14 weeks?
10. I think one more, 13.
13? We've been saying it's 13 weeks this entire time. Why did I not count this late? I've literally been saying that. That's on me. I apologize. Yeah, no response. I appreciate that. Don't apologize. You don't be sorry, sir. You just got to keep it.
What were you saying when they were running?
That's a rifleman's creed. It's a 7-parter. This is my rifle. There are many like it, but this one is mine. My rifle is my best friend. I must treat it. There's 7 pieces of that thing.
Is that similar to this is my rifle, this is my gun?
Child's Play?
Yeah, this one's for fighting, this one's for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arlie, this is my rifle, this is my gun. That whole thing, yeah. I watched that about 10,000 times getting ready for the Mosquito Bowl. But the creed of a United States Marine is this is my rifle. There are many like it, but this one is mine. My rifle is my best friend. It is my life. I must master it as I must master my life. My rifle without me is useless. Without my rifle, I am useless. I must fire my rifle true. I must shoot straighter than my enemy who's trying to kill me. I must shoot him before he shoots me. I will. My rifle and myself know that what counts in this war is not the rounds we fire, the noise of our burst, nor the smoke we make. We know that it is the hits that count. We will hit. My rifle is human, even as I, because it is my life. Thus, I will learn it as a brother. I will learn its weaknesses, its strength, its parts, its accessories, its sights, and its barrel. I will ever guard it against the ravages of weather and damage as I will ever guard my legs, my arms, my eyes, and my heart against damage. I will keep my rifle clean and ready. We will become a part of each other. We will. Before God, I swear this creed. My rifle and myself are the defenders of my country. We are the masters of our enemy. We are the saviors of my life. So be it until victory is America's and there is no enemy but peace. Hoorah! Hoorah! Yeah. So that's the Rifleman's
Pretty
Creed.
good.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and they are saying that. That is a kind of a constant reminder of what you're trying to do here. And they talk about their enemies trying to shoot them. It's like we talked about it with Sergeant Major. When they talk about first to fight, they're talking about like that is their mantra. Like, hey, you're coming to the Marines. You are, hey, you're going. Like this isn't like
No
a
questions
hey,
asked.
is there something happening? And I think they take a lot of pride. 250th birthday, 250 years from yesterday, started as a militia in a bar before the United States of America started. Now they're under the Navy's branch, but they still operate as their own entity. Go ahead, D-Buck.
Yeah, I mean, just so blessed and thankful. I know Dano said it. We all said it. You know, that we get to live the life, lives that we live because of what they're doing and the line that they signed. And spending some time with them last night, just having those conversations, watching the game. And then you really understand, because, as football players in sports, we pride ourselves in being tough and playing through injuries. And a lot of times people compare, football to battle, but it's obviously much different. It's life and death there, and it's wins and losses for us. But it's a great feeling to know that they are on our side. And when you're actually having conversations, with these humans where it's like, if it's time to go, I'm ready to go. And I'm like, hey, please be ready. And I'm like, damn, we really need people out there like this, man. But it's just been an awesome experience just being here, this setting, just seeing it, just feeling it. Like, it's hard not to, almost have like some emotions about it when you're in it, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, the Brick and Brew was awesome last night. Just to, like, have some drinks with the boys and talk to all of them. But it was also like awesome, just the atmosphere, because it felt like kind of like how a European football game feels. Everyone was just, didn't matter that it was Packers and Eagles last night. Everyone was just wearing wherever they're from, whatever team they root for. That's what they were wearing. So it was cool to talk to everyone about like their individual fandoms. That was awesome last night.
There's a beach volleyball pit in the back of this place. This is on base here. Need to get back for the summer for the beach.
I wanted to. We were driving by and I said we need to recreate Top Gun.
I don't think we need to just be inviting ourselves back to Parris Island. Very abnormal that we are here.
Yeah,
I don't think it's certainly.
Sergeant Major said we could come back.
Yeah, well, I think he felt kind of obligated to say that in a moment to our faces because he's a good man. But on that note, we do have much appreciation for the access that we've been given and the ability to be here. On that note, there was some breaking news out of the NBA this morning. Nico Harrison. Okay, we all know him as the guy that traded away Luka via Shams Charania's Twitter account after Royal Rumble last year. He's been fired. Yeah. So
what?
I don't know how you let him trade away Luka Doncic and then you fire him. A year later, you have Cooper Flagg. Obviously, you win the draft lottery. Feels like it's kind of everything he envisioned. Now, Anthony Davis, another injury. You got Kyrie. Cooper Flagg supposed to go on and be the next guy. It felt like they were kind of building this team in his image, and they moved on from what their team was that made it to the finals quickly because he didn't believe in the guy because he drank some beers after games and maybe he wasn't as committed to his fitness as like Kobe Bryant or one of these other guys. Luka plays in his own way. Nico didn't like that. Nico said we need defense and we need somebody that's like a full professional. Trades away the face of the franchise, every single jersey basically that their fans own. We saw the Mavericks play the Pacers in Indiana. I saw it with my own eyes. That was a Mavericks crowd that was in there. This is before Tyrese really goes on his run. It was a Mavericks crowd, and everybody in there had the 2.7s on. Everybody in there was that was in Indiana, let alone in Dallas, let alone the entire NBA. So they somehow move on from him at this guy's kind of guidance, and then they fire him less than a year later. I don't think I fully understand what.
We haven't got to figure out if the trade, how it works
exactly.
out. Right? They had to. I would assume it was Nico's idea, right? And he brought it to the new ownership group and said, "Hey, this is my plan." But they co-signed. They signed off on it.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're the owner, so to give him out before you can kind of see how it goes. I don't know. Maybe something else is going on we don't know
At least
about.
give them a full year. You'd assume. I haven't been paying that close of attention to the Mavericks because it's still football season, obviously, so I don't know how things are looking, but I would assume.
They're in last.
Okay,
They suck.
It's got to be looking pretty shitty, but no.
It was a bad move.
Luka Doncic is on a
AD.
historic pace.
Yeah.
He's the first player in NBA history to average like 40, 10, and 10. Nico Harrison's an idiot. Like, it's about time. It's ridiculous that we're even talking about this now. It should have been 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but
let him do it, though.
Exactly.
They did have a chance, too. Like, AD was healthy at the beginning, and Kyrie Irving, sure, his knee was hurt, but, Cooper Flagg wasn't really the Nico Harrison mastermind. He fell into that. And so Cooper Flagg, who's still going to be incredible, awesome player, like the team that that don't even have to talk about him anymore, whatever his name is, Harrison, built, minus Kyrie, who was hurt, that team sucked so bad. Add Cooper Flagg, still not great. So it's like, okay, this guy completely blew up our franchise, and the player we traded away is having the greatest season in the history of the NBA.
And what we're saying is tough to fire him that quick after letting him do what he did to your franchise. Like, you got to at least publicly say, like, hey, it stinks now, but we got vision. Hey, remember how bad it stunk when we traded Luka away? That stunk. Remember, it's going to be some stinky times as we try to get to what his vision is. And them just saying halfway through it, no. And people were posting a photo of a child wearing a Lakers jersey, 77 Luka, sitting down with the owner at the game. And the post basically said he had a pretty passionate and spirited conversation with this boy. I wonder how much ownership has heard about this entire thing, that they finally got to a breaking point with how ass their team is that they choose to move on. But it's hard not to look at him and say, we told you so, though. Like, you're the ones that got talked into trading away Luka. Like, this is on you as well. And maybe they're just owning that and saying, yeah, we fucked it up. Maybe that's just what they're saying, and they're trying to hit a reset. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
That could be. Do you? And in my heart of hearts, I feel, because this kind of started to happen a little bit. The conversation did when Luka first got traded. I wouldn't be surprised if the Mavericks owners are like, you know what, we want our team in Vegas. So
no, that's what they said whenever they traded Luka.
Deep down, that is what, because it is. It's like you had this guy, you had Kyrie, they made it to a finals, and then you blow up your entire team for what?
But Dallas is so much bigger than Vegas, like that, as a city and a sports town.
Yeah, but isn't the lady who owns
it?
She's a casino mogul.
It's certainly conspiracy fodder. As soon as Luka's traded, it's like, you're trying to tank this team. You want to get rid of all the fans. That's how bad of a trade it was.
Right.
And then everybody's like, no, Nico's got vision. He wants defense. Then we saw him play okay a couple times.
Yeah, they did.
And we're like, wait a minute. Maybe Nico has an idea. They fall into Cooper Flagg. To your point, that wasn't part of Nico's vision when he trades away Luka. He just so happens to fall into it, and they're still being asked. I appreciate ownership saying, yeah, we fudged this up, and they just kind of move forward. The NBA, though, highest ratings they've had in a long time. Congratulations to the NBA.
Unbelievable.
We're very appreciative of the NBA. I enjoy the NBA. The NBA's been very good to us. Now, they also, just like the MLB and every other sport, has to play defense on what's going on with the sportsbooks world. But we're very appreciative of Adam Silver. And whenever that narrative was brought up about ownership down in Dallas, we actually asked Adam Silver, and he was like, no, why would we do that? That is not the way to go about doing that.
Correct.
If that's the way you want to go about doing it, that's not how the business will be. Responded. He basically kind of cut it off. Adam Silver, friend of the program, and what we have found to be genuinely good and smart commish, it feels like, able to negotiate a mega rights deal, which is certainly working for them as they're seeing an uptick. I reached out to him and I said, hey, we're going to be live from Parris Island. Do you have anything you want to say to the vets if possible? This is literally yesterday, and this is what he sends back.
To every veteran, including all of the Marines on Parris Island, I want to offer my sincere thank you and gratitude. Pat, many of your viewers may not know that the military and basketball have a long connection. James Naismith, who of course invented the game of basketball, was an Army chaplain during World War I. The sport then spread across American military bases around the world. And throughout the NBA's history, veterans have played an important role as Hall of Fame players and coaches, as executives at our teams and the league office, and as leaders of USA Basketball. Tonight, in arenas across the country, NBA teams will continue a time-honored tradition of recognizing the service and sacrifice of our veterans. On behalf of everyone at the NBA, happy Veterans Day to all of you.
Hoorah! I don't, because they're so in the boot camp right now. As they're watching Adam Silver there, I don't know if they're impressed or not, but I would like to say Adam Silver and the NBA put that together in about a 4-hour turnover period and did the entire thing. Obviously, very much appreciative of the vets and everything that their team. Naismith being an Army chaplain back in the day and then spreading it kind of global, obviously, is a beautiful thing, and we appreciate Adam Silver doing that. And then what Veterans Day would it be if you didn't have the man that basically epitomizes American dream and American success? We reached out to the UFC president, Dana White, and said, hey, we're going to be live, brother. Anything to say? This is responded within 47 seconds, sent this thing back.
Dana White here. To every veteran and every military family, thank you. You're the toughest, most selfless people on earth, and because of you, we get to live free and do what we love. Discipline, sacrifice, and heart. You set the standard for this country. America is built on your grit, and we'll never forget it. We respect you, we honor you, and we thank you. Happy Veterans Day.
Hoorah! Yeah, it is cool that all the heads of everything basically understand what the military does for us and respects and appreciates the hell out of them. I'm telling you, message sent over and then see the little bubble and it's coming back. It's a video. It's absolutely. Thank you for
just standing there already.
Every wall.
I think that's potentially everywhere that he is. Which American flag should we?
Yeah, exactly.
This one. I don't think we've done this one. Yeah, so we appreciate. Yeah, exactly. Ram trucks
every time.
Yeah, exactly. So we appreciate the hell out of all four commissioners. Dana White, the President of the United States stopped by. Sergeant Major, obviously, stopped by. Dan Orlovsky gave us real good stuff.
He did.
Do you remember him saying, "Hoorah"?
Yeah. I was confused how
did he get to that?
He ended on a good one.
He did.
He did. And his AirPods were working against him. Yeah. I will say his AirPods
he has a cadence voice, though. That's not how he did the cadence, right?
Get down there. Yeah, doesn't he have the low?
Ready? Yeah, but we got to remember, this is TV, Dan.
That's a good point.
What's that?
You always have no. That was my quarterback.
You always have the cadence, right?
Part of the reason I went
you
to
probably
UConn,
know
that was my quarterback.
How good was his cadence, wasn't it?
To the best point, he is far removed from that.
Okay.
But he definitely has. You got to command the huddle. You got to command 10 other men in the huddle. So
and he was able to do that. This guy was All American.
12 years, and he played 12 years in the National Football League. So you saw that nice kitchen.
But now, exactly. It's not just that.
I blame it on the AirPods.
Could you imagine? It could be the AirPods, or it could be the fact that if he was to get into that ever around anybody, not the NFL live crew, obviously we know they know ball, but a lot of suits around.
Sure.
If he even gets into that, there's going to be a fool.
You start swearing.
We don't like this guy.
This isn't what we're looking for. Yeah, we need the fudge guy.
Yeah.
Hey, the fudging guy. We need the entire thing. And obviously, he was mentioned by the President of the United States a couple different times. The Secretary of Veterans Affairs, I had the opportunity to meet him down at Texas Tech this past weekend at College Game Day. He sent a video for us there. And Doug Collins, we want to let you know, you're the absolute man. And for all vets, we hope you get a chance to hear this message, especially the younger ones.
Hey, Pat and gang, it's good to be with you today. I just want to say thanks for all those folks. I know you're down at Parris Island. Those young veterans are going to be coming through. There are veterans, but they're just getting started right now. Young people all across this country, if you served in the military, we want you to know that when you get out of the military, no matter how long you serve, there are veterans benefits that you've earned. Make sure that you find out about those. They can help you get started with a new home. They can help you get started in business. They can send you to school or get vocational training. Look, this isn't about the old stuffy VA that you heard about from your relatives, your parents. This is about a VA that's focused on one thing and one thing only. That's our veteran. So you know that you're out there. We love you. We support you. This secretary wants you to know these benefits are for you. Don't let them for somebody else. They're there for you and the service that you did. You raised your right hand. Now let us raise our hand and serve you. Pat, y'all have a great day down there.
Hell yeah, Mr. Secretary. Hoorah! Hey, remember that. Okay, you guys are about to do a lot of things in your life. Remember that the VA is there to look out for you no matter your age, especially if you're willing to do something for our country. Our country should look out for you. I love that that's been the message from the highest of high, okay? Commander-in-Chief, as we sit on Parris Island. Sergeant Major. the Secretary of Veteran Affairs. Everybody's basically trying to say to you, vets, we appreciate the hell out of you. If you need help, the government's got your back. And if you need a coffee, your fellow peers would love to buy you one to say thank you. We appreciate it so much. We're so lucky to be here. From AJ Hawk, Darius Butler, Ty Schmidt, Boston Connor, AP Tone, and obviously Parris Island. Thank you so much for joining us today here on ESPN as we say, "Ooh-rah! Ooh-rah! Ooh-rah!" Good show? Oh, there's a delay.
Shoot.
Say thanks to those who served and are serving in this for this beautiful country, and enjoy the hell out of the rest of your Veterans Day. We'll be back tomorrow live from the Thunderdome. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. We're in this thing together. God bless America. Hoorah! That was sick. All right.
Yeah.
As we wrap up here on the way out, can't help but give a shout out to obviously Marine football players, especially Marine football players that I got a chance to learn about and study, and also, easy to say, absolute badass Americans. The Mosquito Bowl is a book by Buzz Bissinger, okay? And it's a movie that'll be out next fall. Literally this time next year, the movie The Mosquito Bowl will be out. It is a showcase of Marines being absolute badasses in World War II and what reality was like while fighting in the Pacific Theater. It will also tell the story of these 5 All-American football players that instead of going professional in football, joined the Marines during World War II. McClowry from Brown University. Butkovich from Purdue. Schreiner and Bauman from Wisconsin. Nope, Butkovich from Purdue. Yeah, George, don't know all their schools. But anyways, badasses who decided to join the Marines. The story is immaculate. Wisconsin was right. Okay, I had it right.
You got it.
Okay,
you got it.
Okay, I'm happy I got it right. But the stories of these dudes and the sacrifice is a great, kind of depiction of everybody in the military. Obviously, you're not forced to sign up for the military. Obviously, you're not forced to say, hey, I would like to fight for a country. It is a calling for people. It is a service to others that people are yearning for. And inevitably, it's a kind of a thermostat of badass that you have inside of you. Everybody that joins our military are absolute dogs. And the ones that go from football into the military, we obviously have so much respect for and appreciation for. And this Mosquito Bowl story is beautiful, not only for football, but for the Marines and for society as a whole. So I am so lucky and thankful to be here. AJ, any final thoughts as we wrap up here at Parris Island?
This is overwhelming. Like the whole situation, pulling in here, seeing everybody, and getting to speak with people was it's pretty overwhelming. It's awesome. But the Mosquito Bowl thing obviously reminded me of Pat Tillman. I know Pearl Harbor happens, and these guys decide to, hey, I'm going to go serve my country. And Pat Tillman, a very similar situation happened after 9/11. I know he started to think, and then bam, he's in there. And unfortunately, he's not with us anymore. But yeah, thank you to everyone here and everyone serving all around the world. It's just we are very, very lucky to be Americans.
And
hoorah!
Man, you sound like Orlovsky.
I know, I did.
Yeah.
Well, because I heard
that was kind of a bad one. Was that a bad one?
Well, he.
Oh, no.
I agree with you. Yeah, I'm okay. I can take some criticism. I agree. I'm very coachable, but that was. I'll get you guys back, just not right now. And just give me a second.
All right.
I shouldn't have let Dan influence me.
No, you shouldn't have.
Like, I can hear Dan in my ear.
Don't do that.
Why would you do that?
Get him out of there.
Think about these guys.
We're trying to raise the flag.
Yeah, you're damn right we are. It's Veterans Day. We're on Parris Island.
It's on me. I'll get you guys in a little bit. It's not against you. I want to be able to. I want to be. I don't want to. I want to honor you guys. I don't want to just haphazardly throw it out there.
Well, you already did that.
I know, and now we're making it even a thing. So
that's why I just hit it.
Yeah, I think you just need to go ahead and send this.
Hoorah!
Holy shit! I kind of stepped on it. Why didn't you let me open that
That's
up?
all we need. No, it's good.
That was a good one. I
don't want to disrespect him. I feel like I'm disrespecting him even saying it.
No, not at all. If you were to say, I believe what Sergeant Major told us is don't say who ya.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, just don't be doing that. But certainly you can say it. I think you get jacked up. Does that feel good coming out?
Feels great. Feels great. He's trying to get me to do it again. I'm not. I respect you guys way too much. My father-in-law, Tyrone Joel Quinn, though, Marine, fought in Vietnam, Vietnam, as they say it sometimes. But yeah, he decided to enlist one over, and once a Marine, always a Marine. He was not in Parris Island. He was actually West Coast. I texted him earlier.
San Diego.
Yeah, I texted him earlier to check on it. But yes, thank you to Tyrone Joel Quinn as well.
And for him, we say,
"Hoorah!"
Okay. Yes.
Boom.
I feel like that was much better, right?
Yes, sir.
See, look at that coaching you said. Coaching, we got that entire thing. AP Tone, 80% of the bettors won last night.
Yep.
The Marines turned 250. We honored the veterans today. Feels like a good 24 hours, AP Tone.
Yeah, it's been an awesome 24 hours. Thank you, boys, for sitting here for the entire show, boys and girls. It was awesome. Like, looking at you guys, it's hard not to get emotional. Shout out to my grandpa, who was not in Pacific Theater. He was at Normandy. He was awesome. So I just want to, it's hard not to get emotional while you're here. You know?
Yeah, exactly. A lot of history.
Just thank you everyone for this. Like, thank you everyone who served.
Are you gonna?
I gotta get myself back first.
Gotta do it.
Get back in the fight.
Couple seconds. Oh, look at that. Ready.
Hoorah! That was good. Yeah, it felt good. That was awesome, by the way. Boston Connor, your thoughts as we had the chance to be a part of history here, basically.
Yeah, just so cool to stay in the barracks. Like, it's just one of those experiences you'll never forget. You know, just the whole thing, coming here at night, seeing everything at night, when it's all lit up was incredible. And then, not one cloud in the sky today. I talk about being blessed by God for an incredible day as well. So, shout out to the Echo Company, because those are the barracks, me, Bruce, and Bill. We kind of dubbed ourselves Team BBC, Bruce, Bill, Connor.
Really? Is that what that means?
Yeah, we're kind of our own we're kind of our own squadron within the Echo Company. So it's just kind of an honor to be in there. And the Evil Empire, what a sweet, kind of call sign and name to be a part of when it comes to Echo Company. So it's just, an honor and a privilege, man. I mean, got to ask Donald Trump, Commander-in-Chief, question. Yeah. Thank you for that. That's unbelievable. But yeah, it's just cool, man. It's an honor of a lifetime.
I can't wait to see the mentions for all of that. But I do feel like having the Commander-in-Chief on Veterans Day is the right play.
Yes.
Yeah, it feels like that is how it's supposed to go. Con Man, any last calls for these folks here?
Yeah, I got one earlier, but I'll anytime it's called for. Absolutely. All right, one more. Hoorah!
I felt like a good one there.
That's good. Yeah, I felt good about
Solid.
it.
Was that a good one?
Yes, sir.
There's somebody over here in this corner. They haven't had any sun. Okay, it is
freezing.
Yeah, it is 15 to 20 degrees different from the shade to the sun. We want to let you know, thank you for toughing it out here. It's almost too hot up here. And then I look over and I see you and I'm like, God, we are living two different lives. And then I start thinking, yeah, we are living two different lives. So I appreciate you.
My guy, third one in here, has been freezing the entire time.
Yeah, we appreciate you battling through this. That mental toughness is going to protect the United States of America. Hoorah! Yeah, they're about ready for this show to be done. Ty Schmidt, any thoughts as we hoorah on Parris Island somehow?
Yeah, thank you all for your service so much, every veteran out there, too. I'll tell you what, I had a lot of reasons coming into the show today to just be in a pissy, shitty mood. Packers are dead. I think they should maybe fire their head coach. I don't know if they're going to. I needed to get a couple IV bags this morning because I was feeling a little under the weather, which made me feel like even more of a puss being here with what you guys go through. So, but then you get up here and you're surrounded by all this stuff, and like I said, it's just, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. It's very special being here. Not only last night for you guys' birthday, but also today on Veterans Day. This is awesome. I'll remember this day for the rest of my life. And with that being said, hoorah!
Hoorah! That one felt pretty good, right?
Very good.
Yes, sir.
Well, he's pumped. Yeah, fist pumped this guy. D-Butt, military family. Obviously, you really enjoyed what you said at the beginning of this entire thing.
Awesome.
Paying tribute to your family, including your younger brother who's currently in the Air Force.
Yep.
Your thoughts as we wrap up here on this Veterans Day?
First and foremost, hoorah!
Nice.
That was good. That was really good. Hey, that was the best one of the day?
Yes, sir.
God damn.
Wow,
I
better than the Sergeant Major.
Y'all don't know what that
civilians.
means. Yes. Come on.
The question was a question.
Be respectful. But this was awesome, man. This whole 2 days, last night, obviously on the Marine's birthday, and then today on Veterans Day, this is just awesome. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Got an opportunity to. I didn't sleep in the barracks last night, but got to get up 0400, you correctly said,
yeah,
right?
0400.
Yeah, 0400.
0404.
Heard the entire, countdowns and the wake up and just see on day 19, what we saw the young men going through and getting shaped into Marines, it was just awesome to experience. Thank you so much for the hospitality, for allowing us here and allowing us to just be right here in it. Like, we got live drills going on behind us.
As you
This was just this all-time moment. I'll never forget this. You have different moments, whether it's sports or your kids and family, and this moment, this whole experience has been kind of right up there with us. So, thank you once again, and
I like you snuck one in there. You got me. I didn't know. I thought you were kind of wrapping it up. And then how could you ever wrap it up if the opportunity is just sitting there to say, hoorah! I mean, how many can we get?
I mean, I don't know if you had to guess, probably as many as possible.
Kind of forcing them to do it.
Yeah.
But how many opportunities do we have to do it in front of an entire platoon?
Oh, yeah.
Probably the last shot.
So you got to.
Yeah, every once in a while, you just got to hit them with an
Yeah, because just feeling that back, it makes you feel good about America. AJ doesn't just kind of make you kind of get a patriotic kind of little feeling down in your loins. So every time, your plums do feel it, don't you, AJ?
Yeah, my plums do feel it. Feels great.
Yeah, you don't know how often you're going to be able to do it, so every once in a while, you just kind of got to...
That was not as good a one.
That was all.
Not your best, but there's certainly going to be an opportunity around the corner to be able to look at these Marines and say, I appreciate the hell out of you guys, and your call back and forth to each other is so cool. I love just saying.
Whole OH.
You don't love
It's got to happen organically. No, you're forcing it. I don't want to disrespect these people.
On that note, we're out of here. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us here. To the 565 DIs that are currently on Parris Island, thank you so much for being superhumans and instilling the Marines culture into generations and generations that have lasted for 250 years of badass dogs who are willing to go fight for all of us at all times. To all the vets out there that have signed a line that said, you know what, if there's a war, I don't want it, but I'll be the one that'll go fight it. We can't thank you enough. From Parris Island, this is the Pat McAfee Show. I can't believe I get to say that. We can't thank you enough for joining us today. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Tell a vet they're awesome. We're in this thing together. Let's never forget it. Team on me. Team on three. 1, 2, 3. Team. Goodbye. Ooh, roll.